8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m. Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means. Yo, it's time for another 8-Bit Bros show. This is not a kid-friendly show. Put your kid... Where do we put the kids, Ren? Where? Where do we put the kids, Ren?
I put the kids in the closet.
Put the kids in the closet. What do we have in store for you tonight? It's a really big show. Who the fuck knows where we're going, but tune in and find out. Late edition, that's Thursday, day 80. Day 80 lockdown. Although, everything's just starting to open up slowly, surely. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
To the left, that's me, Web Boy. You know it by now. Over there to the right, I don't know why I got to do this, but I have to. 846 miles south. The one and only Thumpin' Loud. Yeah, gentlemen. I'd say, how was your weekend, but we haven't been there yet.
Nope, not making it there yet.
Oh, how was your, I don't know, fucking glued to the news coverage since Tuesday?
Oh, I haven't been glued to anything, dude. I do shit during the day, and I've been told to stay in the house at night, so.
Yeah. What's your, you still on curfew?
8 o'clock curfew.
8 o'clock curfew. Is that for your town, too, or?
That is for my city, period.
Okay.
Yeah, my mayor issued it for our city starting Monday and will be in session till the order is rescinded once all of whatever is over.
Yeah, see, we haven't had that. We've got sporadic townships that need to be...
Yeah, I am one of the sporadic townships.
Yeah. Ren, thank you for fact-checking me on Tuesday with the information regarding Keensburg. I do appreciate that.
That was fact-checking himself.
No, that was fact-checking me. I was the one who said it was a predominantly poor minority, and that's not the case. It's 80-something% white, if they're such Caucasian. Is that a better word? I don't even know what the fuck to say anymore, so I have no fucking clue. I don't know what's politically correct and what's not, and what I should...
I don't give a shit what's politically correct. Around here, white people...
Yeah, fucking white. Okay, I'm olive. Okay, so Keensburg's predominantly olive people.
Yeah, you're white. You're just another type of white.
I'm still wrestling with the idea that all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. I'm still wrestling with that idea.
Yeah, well, it's a fact.
I don't understand it because to me, when you say all, it encompasses everyone. Why do I need to single out one specific?
Because one specific has been singled out already.
Yes.
And their voice above all others needs to be heard and understood.
I get that. I get that. When I equate it to other situations is when I don't get it. I think that's the problem. Maybe it's me. No, it is me. I know it's me.
I was going to say, no, it's definitely you. Your personal opinions are only those of your own, so.
Right. Yeah, well, hey, everybody's entitled to one except Drew Brees, obviously.
No, he was entitled to his, too.
Well...
he was. What? He got it out there. He said what he needed to say, and, it doesn't mean you're not going to catch flack for some of the shit you say. Say something off the wall and off color, you're going to catch flack for it.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. It's the same thing when you say something really fucking bombastically out of fucking control, and we're like, God damn it, Webb, what the fuck? I mean, we do the same thing. It's no different, and he shouldn't be treated any different. His situation is a very unique one, considering how much of a prior advocate he has been in several situations. For him to voice his opinion the way he did, I think was just a miswording or a misunderstanding of the situation as it's concerned. He stands on the side of the national anthem, and he stands on the side of this country and the people who have fought for it. And he feels hands down on his opinion that it is disrespectful during the national anthem to not honor America. And that's just the way he feels about it. And it's not that it's actually a bad opinion to have. It's good to believe in your country. It's good to be able to believe in your country. And because he does, for his own reasons, he's catching a little bit of shit in the current time where we're trying to all of a sudden make this Colin Kaepernick's movement, which it's not. We understand that, yes, he made a statement a long time back, about 4 years ago, about this in his, until African Americans or black people are recognized as equal citizens in this country, that he didn't feel that he needed to honor it. That he would take a knee to to kneel in solidarity with the oppression. And that was his stance on it. He didn't want to be disrespectful to the troops, which is why he didn't sit down and, on the bench with the fucking hat on and, everything else. He came down when the national anthem was out, stood with his team, and took a knee. It wasn't necessarily a bad form of protest. It was just very mismanaged and mishandled from the get-go.
Right,
You look back at it, and it's an unfortunate situation, and all of us said for the years that followed up after that he should have still been an NFL quarterback.
Yeah,
but there was something that also spoke to all of us that said that maybe he just doesn't really want the job back. And if he felt like he was mistreated by the NFL and that everything had went the way it had went, I understand why he didn't want to come back.
Well, we had a lot of conversation on all that when it first happened back in 2016.
Right, and people tried to bring him up and tag him along to this, and I don't think the representation is the same when you try to equate the question to Drew Brees was trying to equate this to going back to football and people taking a knee during the national anthem.
I love and respect my teammates, and I stand right there with them in regards to fighting for racial equality and justice. I also stand with my grandfathers who risked their lives for this country and countless other military men and women who do it on a daily basis. I'm not so sure what was wrong with that statement.
In the heat of the moment of everything that's going on, what was wrong with it was the question was asked and he had to make a statement.
Yes.
That was, and there, unless he just said, plain and simply, I stand with the people, and left it at that. It was a question that, when it came to football specifically, with the national anthem and it being at the beginning of the games, he feels a certain way and has always felt a certain way, and I don't believe that he should be forced to change his opinion. But he could have withheld part of his response.
Yeah.
To just say that I stand in recognition and not even acknowledge the question, because it was kind of a political move to get a statement.
Did the world forget he took a knee when the president came out and said, if these fucking football players do that? That was 2017 in London.
Yeah, but that's also it's history. His current statement was it was almost like he didn't have it thought out to just go one line,
Okay.
Get it in, get it out. Try to make sure you be the advocate that you know you want to be and are.
Okay. So I have questions. So did we forget how far Colin Kaepernick took it? I mean, because all you ever hear about is, and I posted this right on Facebook, flat out. Let's not fucking forget here. Yeah, he took a knee, but did we forget that he took it way too far? That he wore the socks with pigs on them in cops' uniforms? That all pigs are cops? Or all cops are pigs? Or all cops are bad? No, see, that's not that's racial injustice right there. Did we forget that he came out publicly and lambasted Nike for making a pair of shoes
Okay,
with
the shoe thing is one thing you could validly like bring up, but honestly, him taking the knee and wearing the socks, whatever, dude. It's a really big whatever. That's just poking to poke. But
I don't think
but
it's
the
poke the
big
poke,
deal he
man.
made about the shoe with the American flag on it, that
Yeah.
is one of the like you need to check that situation
I mean, yeah,
when
he
when you talk about the level he went to get that removed.
the American flag stands for racism, so he couldn't get behind it and fuck Nike and their shoes.
Yeah, our cops are race.
The American flag stands for racism. That's kind of like saying the Confederate flag stands for racism.
The argument still goes on, and it's been removed from almost every single government
which
piece
which we
of
all
piece
which
of
I th-
identification ever.
which I think we all agree upon is utter bullshit. I think.
I think it is. If it brought about change to get rid of it,
I mean, the original swastika, the meaning behind it was peace, love, and understanding.
well,
That's
the Redskins got roasted because they said on Blackout Tuesday said that they stood with the protesters and with people fighting for the advocacy for black rights and police reform and all this stuff. And they said it, and then they got roasted by
the,
the Native American community going, then finally change your fucking name.
even the Niners got fucking roasted for putting out a black background and a tweet of I don't remember what it was. Black Lives Matter, hashtag Blackout Tuesday, and they got fucking roasted for that.
What did
Wha-
they didn't get roasted for that. They got
Oh.
roasted for something else.
No, that's all
They didn't get roasted for just putting out the response because
I-
everybody put out the response, and that means everybody would have got roasted. If
But-
everybody's doing it, there's a reason behind that they didn't, and it
I
could
think
be
that-
because they were the team that let Colin Kaepernick go, and it
Uh-huh.
could be because that they followed up with a pure
Yeah.
white quarterback.
Yeah, and the fact that they posted a tweet with a black background when the whole purpose was to not say anything and just put up a black background.
Well, there was
And-
a lot of people who put out various little tweets. The problem that also they had with theirs is the fact that it was late enough when it got posted that they should have known not to use the hashtag Black Lives Matter.
But that's
No,
okay.
no,
That-
no.
okay.
Because if you weren't paying attention to how the social media curve went, they
Right.
said that they wanted Black Lives Matter. This was a day to not talk about yourself, content
Right.
creators.
Okay.
It wasn't about you. It wasn't about your personal account, your personal tweets, the web book, like the yours. It was literally don't be talking about yourself. Let the advocacy speak louder than everything today. Don't talk about your shit. Don't be personal. Blackout. Don't talk about, oh, I got a new show coming out today. That's why streamers didn't broadcast. That's why
Yeah.
YouTubers didn't put out videos. Like the blackout was meant to be a social media blackout of personal shit and just go advocacy. That's all it was.
Yeah, which is pretty much, I guess, what we all did. I mean, I didn't really post any personal shit besides fucking blasting people.
I retweeted a lot of informative information that was coming across all the boards. Like that was what my retweets today were.
Right.
But it wasn't a time for you to got a new channel, gonna be starting, got a big bros coming on tonight, got this. Like, that wasn't what it was supposed to be. It was
We
literally it was supposed to be hashtag Blackout Tuesday, black background, showing that you stood in solidarity. That one tweet
Yeah.
was supposed to be your one that said you stood there, and then you weren't supposed to sit there and talk about yourself after that. You were supposed
Right.
to share the message and keep the message flowing. And that was a misunderstanding that people were like, no, don't hashtag BLM, don't hashtag Black Lives Matter, don't hashtag Blackout Tuesday. Also, in that same, because that information is getting buried in these blackout photos, and they also wanted people to know, don't just go night night.
Yeah.
It wasn't a day vacation. Blackout didn't mean go on vacation.
Right.
Blackout meant make it about this subject.
Yeah.
Make the day about this subject. Make it the trending thing of the day. BLM needed to be able to get its tweets out.
Yeah. I stand behind that. I agree with that.
But it was a whole lot. Like I said, it was a whole lot of misinterpretation, and like you said, you found some information that said that it was meant to be a disruption.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the whole scenario, there was a lot of misrepresentation off the get-go. It was kind of a COVID part too, because nobody really knew what was going on. It was just all of a sudden, everybody tomorrow, Blackout Tuesday. You started seeing pre-tweets for it the night before from large influencers, which meant, just like you said, it was probably coming from their managers out of these corporations that, are saying, this is the movement we're going to put out tomorrow. And so it probably trickled down through them, and it filtered its way into the rest of society. And it was somewhat of a success, I guess, from that plan point. But it brought so much talk about, hold on, people, don't get jebaited into this shit. You're not supposed to post a black photo and walk away for the day. It's be active in just this movement. Don't do you.
Yeah. I just, I don't know if I see what was so wrong with what Bree said. I mean, I get the backlash on it, but
yeah, that's it. Okay, climate is tough. All right, and plain and simple, if he didn't just one word it, really short, really sweet, I stand with my teammates and the rest of the nation.
yeah, but I'm not disrespecting the flag. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but see, that's it. Shut your fucking mouth. It's not necessary that you make that statement right there and you don't get any of the backlash.
See, here's what I don't understand, and maybe you're missing it. When we've had this conversation before,
Oh, I'm not missing it.
Whoa! You signed a contract to play professional football. Now, much like when you go to work for the first time, they hand you a motherfucking employee handbook. And we went through this already. I've placed this argument 26 times. It's right there in black and white. You stand with your fucking hand over your heart, with your helmet in your right fucking hand, face the flag, and speak the national anthem. Stand with your hand over your... It's right there. So I get it. You want? We've had this conversation, but you want to make a point. You should be fired. You should be fired. It's kind of like, you get your handbook and it's like, don't disrespect people in the office. What up, motherfucker? Go fuck yourself. I hate you. Fired. There's no smoking in the building. I'm going to sit at my desk and light a cigarette. Fired. You got the rule book. It was right there in black and white. I know that's a bad term to use right now.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that should be his statement.
It should have been.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not all the other shit, not anything else. If he wants to sit there and take that stance, I'm just saying, be ready for the backlash. Be ready for people to call you the motherfucker.
I don't disagree with that.
Like, but that's what I'm saying. You're sitting here going, I don't understand why all of this bullshit about him. I don't get what was wrong with his comment. Everything was wrong with his comment because it didn't do what it was supposed to do, and that say that you stood with your fucking people across this nation in a time of fucking need, and that's all he needed to fucking say.
But he did say that. And
then he said, but...
They pressed the issue, not the but.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That's the whole fucking issue. The interview was the fucking issue in the first place, and he should have just been like, I stand with, I stand with, I stand with, I stand with, I stand with.
I mean, we saw the backlash today over an internet outlet that published an article, the first one that published the article, that George Floyd had COVID. And the picture that they chose to use was a 3-frame picture of him, the arrest, and then the cop kneeling on his fucking neck. So what are you trying to say here? He died of COVID? You used the wrong fucking photo. They took massive backlash for that. That to me is just abuse of fucking media power right there. That's bait click. That's misrepresentation. I think. And I stand by what I mean. Not that I want to put myself in the same corner, but I agree. I stand with and for all people. Period. But what's happening now is a fucking travesty. But I will not take a fucking knee for anything. I've said this before. I don't get on my knees for shit. And if you want to fucking line up 1,000 people with an American flag out here on motherfucking 4th of July and sing the national anthem and take a knee, I'll be standing. To me, that flag represents more than just, I need to make a statement right now. And we had this conversation.
Actually, no, that is exactly what it stands for.
No,
it stands for the fact that you have the freedom to sit there and demand that you are heard and that your rights are the same as everybody else's in this country. It does. It means you're allowed to do that. That's exactly what that flag stands for.
And for 260 years, you couldn't burn a flag until someone finally fucking pressured government to make that happen, and that should have never happened either.
No, I don't agree with that on that level. I mean, but I don't think that flag burning compared to the reason why they. I'm saying they talked to he talked to military service personnel and everything else. The act of taking a knee is actually a sign of honor.
Taking a knee during the national anthem is a sign.
See, no, you're trying to blend this all to this national anthem statement.
Okay.
The same reason that Drew Brees got roped into this same fucking bullshit. And I'm not that guy. Look, the point of the matter was he talked to service personnel. He talked to a lot of people prior to taking a knee. The knee was the result of the long communication he had with several other people because he was going to do different shit. And they were like, well, that would be disrespectful. You know, this if you're going to do something, this would be acceptable because not for anything, if a player is ever hurt on the field and you want to show that you stand with that player and wish him the best, players go down and they take a knee around him.
Yeah, because they're praying. You're praying to God. You take a knee when you pray to God. That's exactly what they're doing. You're not just taking a knee because someone got hurt. You're taking a knee because you're saying a fucking prayer. I hope this motherfucker's all right. Oh, God.
But it's a show of support to come out onto the field and take a knee.
Okay. Maybe. Someone gets hurt, you take a knee because you're bowing your head. You're not looking up at the start. You're bowing your head and saying a prayer. I hope this motherfucker's going to be all right.
Yeah. Maybe every time the national anthem's sung, he's like, I hope I can believe that this song is true.
You could say that, but that's not what was said. I'm taking a knee to support or protest for black rights. That's not taking a knee and going, I hope this song is true. Don't misconstrue what it is you're trying to twist it to.
Well, also don't just go, I believe all of these people are pieces of shit.
No, well, that's all
I mean,
the
that's
ludicrous.
your opinion, and I'm just saying that I don't feel that taking the knee is actually disrespectful.
I can understand that. I can't get behind it, but I can totally understand it. Like I said, for me, I'm standing. Period.
That's
I don't.
you, and
I
you're
don't give.
more than welcome to do that all you want to. And
They
I
could.
know you stand with your quarterback.
Fucking, they could. It's not a matter of him. It didn't matter who it was. I don't care who it
Yeah,
was. It
yeah, but
fucking
you're
Archie Man. It could have.
all of this currently rotates around the fact that like your boy said something,
I mean,
and you're also finding this as an opportunity for you to go, yeah, I agree with everything that he said in this statement. I think he was right in everything he did.
Malcolm Jenkins had the balls to say something and then fucking removed it because he couldn't even stand behind what the fuck he said. So please, it's not a matter of it's my boy. You can go fuck yourself with that. That's not the case. The case here is a statement made by a professional sports player, whether we agree with it or not. And I personally really don't see what's wrong with it. I stand behind what the fuck is happening in my community. Oh, and by the way, I donate fucking $20 million a year to help Mediterranean fucking Louisiana, the poorest of poorest black towns and the face of the fucking planet. But I never Metairie, but I will not kneel. I will pay respect to the people who fought for that fucking flag. I'm sorry. I don't personally see what's wrong with it. I understand what you're saying of you didn't need to say that. You're right. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, okay, but if you say you don't understand what's wrong with the statement, except for the fact that maybe he shouldn't have said it right now, then you're trying to act like you just don't get it.
No.
Like, oh, I don't get it.
Right now.
Okay, so you understand why he caught all the backlash. You understand completely that he probably shouldn't have said that.
No, I would have said it too. Fuck you. I'm not kneeling. You can bait me all you want. I'm not kneeling for the flag. I'm going to respect the flag because that was my fucking upbringing. Oh, wait a second. I remember being third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, standing every morning in a fucking school praying to a flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Every fucking day. I was born that way. That's how I was brought up. This motherfucker's older than me. Well, maybe he's not. No, he's not. But so were you. You went to school and fucking stood for that flag. And what happened if you didn't? Get the fuck up, Mr. Fucking Thumping Loud. Stand up. Stand up and fucking put your hand over your heart and say the fucking morning prayers. I pledge allegiance to the flag. We were brought up that way. I was brought up not to disgrace that flag no matter what. Wait, you're not even supposed to let it touch the fucking ground. Does that really matter in this day and age?
Well, all right, hold on. I'm gonna have to stop you real quick because you're on this roller coaster of you being an advocate for all of the treatment of the flag according to all the rules and regulations of the flag, when I personally have seen you in American flag shorts.
Yes.
You're not supposed to wear any garment that is the American flag or made to represent the American flag because that is against the rules of the flag.
Unless, go ahead, give me the unless. Because if you don't know it, I'll tell it to you.
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
Fucking know it.
No, hey, dude, you think I didn't research this before I bought a fucking $400 American flag jacket made from real flags? Real flags. Not somebody who sewed a fucking jacket. Right there, the rules of the flag are you're supposed to burn it when it becomes fucking no good, unless it can be repurposed as its original form. My jacket is fucking canvas, original flags from actually 1971. My jacket is illegal. Now, the t-shirt you wear that has an American flag on it, no, you're right. You're not supposed to eat off a fucking plate either.
Your fucking shorts. You only named one example that you have. Oh, well, I got one that meets the criteria, but your shorts are not like
no good. No, you're right. My shorts are no good.
Any pair of flip flops you've ever owned that have an American flag on them.
I don't wear flip flops.
Not for anything. Kaepernick was right. Those shoes shouldn't exist because technically it's not supposed to be on there that way.
Not even supposed to
So
keep your
based on
on
based on the
like,
rules of it, I mean, to stand for all the rules and preach that you only believe the rules, and then own the pair of shorts, you're automatically lying.
You're right. My bathing suit. That's right. My bathing suit is against the rules of the proper usage of a flag. You are absolutely
And
correct.
probably a couple shirts that you have, and probably
No,
even a
I
couple
don't.
other pairs of shorts that you have.
No, I have one pair. I don't think I have. I have a hoodie.
You
I have a
have a 4th of July outfit that is completely American flag representative.
yes, my vest, which is made from real American
I
flags.
thought it was a jacket.
I have the jacket and the vest. The only thing I never bought was the pants because I'm not wearing canvas pants. That's got to be hot as a motherfucker, canvas pants. But you're absolutely right. My hoodie, my bathing suit, which by the way I only wear 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Veterans Day. It's the only time I ever fucking wear it. Period.
Which would honestly be the most disgraceful days that you could possibly wear it.
Probably. And no, not probably. You're absolutely correct. My flag jacket, well, that comes out from time to time. But again, like I said, to me, I have
Well, yeah,
saved.
like I said, I understand your point of view on just like his point of view on it, but guess what? It just wasn't the time to voice that point
Yeah,
of view on it. It was shut the baiter down
I
and
do
go,
get.
stop it.
I do get that.
Stop trying to make me a villain in this article that you're trying to write. Stop trying to get me in this article. I
I think you
stand with what's going on.
I think you should have been smarter than that. I mean, but we say that about a lot of shit
Well,
that gets.
hindsight's 2020, and I'm sure he looks at it now and is like, "Fuck, I really probably shouldn't have said all of that. I probably should have just towed my fucking line, kept my point of view about my parents and grandparents or anything else out of it,
Yeah.
and just been like, I stand with da da da, and I'm done."
So today, while we're talking sports and all that, ESPN and Fox Sports talked heavily today about the lack of black leadership in sports, but basically pointing fingers at.
Yeah, Dwight definitely do know that they are not supposed to stand if they don't, and a lot of schools actually don't even do.
Yeah, Dwight, based on religion, yes.
Yeah, and a lot of schools don't even actually do morning Pledge of Allegiance anymore in elementary school. So
No, that's been removed from a lot of curriculums across the entire
prayer was
country.
removed first
Well,
because of prayer diversity availability.
and separation of church and state, absolutely.
And
Public
and then the Pledge of Allegiance in I think elementary school was removed in some places. I think there are still some schools that do it around the country, but I'm not exactly sure where those would be.
Yeah, I know firsthand that my children do not pledge allegiance. They also go to a Catholic school, so there is morning prayer, but that's obviously by choice. And
Well, that's it's also a Catholic school.
yeah, the Catholic school. So yeah, you're saying Hail
It's kind
Mary.
of when you sign the dotted line on that one.
But I don't. I would say almost confident that there is no I pledge allegiance. I don't remember doing that. Well, obviously you don't do that in college. I really don't remember doing that like my senior year of high school. Everything before that is a blur. I don't really remember shit except, getting fucking suspended and protesting, shit like that. I don't remember that kind of shit. But I would say at least up until 10th grade, I'd fucking stand for that flag every goddamn morning. So ESPN, sports outlets blasted the NFL for not having enough black ownership, black leaders in their organization. How do you feel about that? I mean, we know the new rule is if you interview a minority, I'm not going to label a fucking race. If you interview a minority and hire one, you're going to get a better draft pick. But I can't see, and correct me if I'm wrong, I cannot really see somebody who is black, African American, whatever the fuck you want to call them or they want to be called, coming along and purchasing a NFL team. I don't really think there's anybody who has enough money or the capability to do that in America.
I think there's a couple people who may have the capability of doing it, but I
There's
don't think they're interested in owning an NFL team.
There's only two people in America who could do that, Bob Johnson and Oprah Winfrey. They're the only two black billionaires who live in the United States, who are American.
Okay. And that doesn't change my statement of
Oh.
I think there are a couple, couple too,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be in the market to be able to do so, but they don't have any interest in owning an NFL team.
Well, now would be the opportune time to fucking feast on that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but that was my stance on it. Like,
should you employ more people in your organization? And I'm talking any organization. I don't give a fuck where you work, that are underqualified for the position to make up racial diversity?
forced integration was necessary because nobody was acknowledging the fact that it needed to be done, and they were even ignoring highly qualified candidates for the positions to begin
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Quota to me.
hold on.
Go ahead.
At the point that it needs to be enforced,
Yeah.
then it does need to be enforced. And it does need to be put in place that you have to go through these processes. On the other side of it, the ability to tailor this segment off at a later date also needs to be put as the place of handling it. Incentivizing is not necessary. This should just be done. I should not have to bribe you to do something you should already be doing anyway. But if you're not doing it, I'm going to tell you you have to do it. But I'm not going to incentivize you to do it.
See, I can stand behind that. I can stand behind those words in that exact way.
Yeah.
In that statement.
Yeah, if you're too stupid to do it on your own, I'm going to make sure that I tell you that you got to fucking do it.
Not for anything, but I think Bob Johnson could. I think he could get together with like Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah, easily. But like I said, I don't know if these people that would have the potential to rally a group together even to do this, because we've seen other celebrity groups want to go in and buy certain teams. I mean, there was the rumor that Buffalo was going to be bought and moved to Canada, and you know, there's all these situations. We've heard conversations before about celebrities trying to get together and do shit.
I mean, fuck, now that I think about it, Carolina would have been ripe for the pickings after all the shit that went down there. Especially for a conglomerate, an LLC of black financiers purchasing Carolina Panthers.
Oh yeah, would have been a good spot.
If
they would have been willing to have like stepped in and like kept Cam and created their advocacy group based on like what stances they were going to do with the team. Have a black quarterback, black coach would be good.
Well, how many? We got a couple.
Maybe a black GM too, and
actually have more black coaches than we've ever had in the NFL, right? How many are there? 5 now? 6? I don't even know.
Out of 32, that's still a pretty low number, though.
There are only 3 head coaches that are black as of December 31st, 2019.
Right. So it's still an area that definitely still needs change. The crews, like we saw, what was it? We were talking last year before the season about coaching changes that needed to be made, and we brought up several African American coaches amongst the college courses and that were already like coordinators in the NFL that really deserved a shot at a head coaching job. We brought up several people last year, so the people are there, and it's exactly what they're saying. I mean, look at some of the horrible coaches that are allowed to just stay coaches in the NFL. Not for anything. There's only one notable, like, black head coach that really just was horrible and somehow managed to keep a job, and that was Lovey Smith.
Kitchens.
It
Oh, I thought you meant Freddie Kitchen. Sorry.
no, Lovey Smith up in Cleveland.
Yeah. And then he was replaced by Freddie Kitchens, who got fired. He was black too.
I don't know. For some reason, every time I think about Kitchens, I just think about this group of like fat white dudes that I know here that they're all Kitchens, and so every time I think of a Kitchens, it's like, oh yeah, that's some big white dude.
There were 4 minorities in 2019 up until Rivera got fired because he's what, Latin, Mexican.
Yeah,
and
but then
some-
he got rehired, so he's
then he-
back in the.
yeah.
He's back
So you
in
got
the pool.
Mike Tomlin of the Steelers, Anthony Lynn with the Chargers, and Brian Flores with the Dolphins. Is he still there? Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
2 general managers.
Yeah, see, I mean, the numbers still need change. Like, because we know that there's got to be more qualified people than some of the trash we've seen. We've been bitching about a lot of people for quite some time about why they still have jobs, why the people are shuffling these same, not for anything, these same old white dudes around the NFL. You know, why do they, oh, you've been fired as a head coach, now he's an offensive coordinator over here for the next 10 years, even though maybe a position could have been better filled by somebody else.
But not if you came out of the Pat Schumer, the Bill Belichick, the Parcells camp, then you just deserve a job in the NFL. And I don't mean that literally, but that's certainly how it seems for the past
Right.
25 years.
Right. Well, because there was some very prolific teams built on offense and defense out of those coaches. And, you know, if maybe they would have been forced into hiring more minorities back then in their positions, maybe we would have had some of those truly stellar coaches that came out of that system that would have been of a minority group.
Maybe.
You know,
I
so
don't-
it's just we didn't get a lot of that with the Parcells and the Jimmy Johnsons and the Schumers and the, you know, it just didn't happen then. So
You know, with the rest, I mean, the NFL is predominantly black players to begin with.
70%.
Right. Is it 70? I was
I
trying
just read
to
an article today that it's 70.
70%. And we're going to complain that there's
Jay-Z
no
does own a basketball team.
part. Yeah. The Nets.
Yeah.
Part of it. Yeah. He just bought more of it. I think it's up to 35% now of the team or something like
yeah,
that.
that was his whole steez was to equate more and more of this team over time. I think that
Yeah.
was the initial buy-in, was that he was going to buy in at this and increase revenue and get more shares.
28% non-white, Hispanic. So the average age of men in the NFL is 21 to 35 years old, predominantly black, 70-something%. So there's a problem with Colin Kaepernick not having a job because he's black?
No,
Or-
you're kind of about to dive into the part of the rabbit hole that you should just leave the hell alone.
Look,
Well,
what
no,
I'm trying
no, what it
is-
is it's still a system that they're looking at, and even from Colin Kaepernick's perspective, of yes, there are 70% African American men playing in the NFL who are all being told what to do by white men. It's a problem.
best man.
It's the problem.
I don't. And it's tough because I don't want to sound like a racist because I'm not. I'm really
Well,
not.
That's why I say you might
Really
want to not jump into that puddle.
But I just look at it this way: it's best man for the job. I interview you and it don't work out. Hit the road, Jack. Just because you're white, I
Yeah, but
hired
we're not
you.
seeing that same level of rotation for white personnel. That is the problem. You and I
But-
know that we see stale. The
NFL.
fact that you've still got fucking like white-haired old motherfuckers that can barely move on the sidelines in offensive coordinator positions and defensive coordinator positions. Norv Turner still being in the fucking NFL as a fucking assistant or anything like that. The fact
Well,
that these guys are still doing this job for 40 fucking years.
well, they've got a lot of winning percentage behind them, I
They
guess.
just have this clout thing and they're part of the
Clout.
boys club
No,
already.
I
Some of
get
it
that.
needs to change.
I understand that. But turning around and saying we need more black quarterbacks because there aren't enough is utter bullshit. That's utter bullshit. The best man for the job. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if somebody lands from goddamn Mars and is orange and red and with pink polka dots and can throw a fucking a football 120 yards. Well, I'm signing that motherfucker because he's better than anybody else. It's kind of like the same way when you apply for a job. Well, he's okay, so we'll hire him. And this guy over here who could really lead us into the next millennium, no, we won't hire him. No, that's bullshit.
It's the same thing that happens in the job market currently too, though. Companies have been put under the same kind of restrictions that the NFL's in.
Sure, hockey.
Companies are being told that they have to hire this. You got to have this percentage. You mandatorily, you need to meet this minimum.
No, I don't agree with that, and I'll never agree with that. It's best man for the job. That's what built the country to begin with. That's what it's always been. That's what it should be. Why should I hire someone who's going to sit at their desk, twiddle their thumbs, not understand what the fuck's going on, and pay them for no fucking reason? Because why? Because they're a minority? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Best man for the job. Don't care what color your skin is. Best man for the job. Look at NHL. NHL took the same shit as the NFL. You need to hire more black people. Show us fucking black people who play hockey. We've got two.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
20
didn't we find out that there were 2 African American men playing
Two.
hockey?
Two.
Isn't one a goalie and one's like a center?
One's a forward and one's a goalie, and by far the forward is probably one of the best forwards I've ever seen play hockey. Period.
Yeah.
But let's get in the car and let's go down to a fucking school and watch these high school or college kids play hockey.
Well, you got to remember the standpoint that this is from the pure words of systemic racism, which means from the get-go not being given the opportunity, and from the get-go not getting the opportunity translates to later on down the road they're not really the best qualified candidate when you've got somebody who was given more opportunity because they were not.
I stand behind you on that. I do not agree with that. It shouldn't be about the opportunity. Best
like
man
the
for
shirt, Ren.
Best man for the job. That's. I mean, it's so you can't force feed shit down people's throats for the sake of, I don't know, meeting the quota. Because meeting the quota.
Me, I don't believe that the quota should be part of it anyway. I don't believe that should have to be in place. But at the same time, there is a problem, and something does need to be done about the problem. And the problem is the opportunities weren't being given until they were forced to give opportunities. So I stand behind the reasoning that the opportunity has been pushed.
Yes.
And I agree with that. I don't agree with trying to make it these percentages and mandatory being under these minimums. Like there's got to be another way. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
there's got to be another way to solve this and to do this. And I've seen a lot of people putting a lot of really good ideas out there about how to just solve the overarching problem that we're having above anything else. And a lot of ideas are really good, but it does start with the fact that if you just don't put rules in place, nothing seems to change.
You're right. I'm not gonna. You're right. You're absolutely right. The status quo, I think, is just it's wrong. It's and I get it. Push the diversity. I mean, we've seen it in every industry. I mean, Jesus Christ. Some of the
Like I said, any job that you go and apply for, I mean, there are people that are qualified for the position that are not, one of the hiring minorities that don't get a job. It happens because of the rule sets that's been put in place. I mean, it is a fault in the platform. It's just another issue that we need to figure out how to fix it. We've apparently this guess was wrong, and we need to keep working on it. Oh, you didn't notice, but see that back there?
yeah.
Did you see that? You know what
No.
that is?
No. What?
That is my Serta
HEPA filter?
new chair.
Oh, you're not. Oh, I see that. You're not in the racing chair
The
anymore.
king seat that I had, the big leather one that I was draping the fucking green screen over, is
Yeah.
now out of here.
Right.
I was at work. We had a shipment come in of stuff from all over the country, and I saw this Serta box sitting on top of a pallet and was like, "That's my chair."
So, hey, Ren,
Yes.
should Drew Brees have apologized for what he said?
Personally, no, I don't think he should have, because it makes his statement now look I don't want to say less worthy, but it takes the validity of what he said out of it.
I mean, and his apology was, I mean, I felt he realized, like Trump was saying, and shouldn't have said that. Especially, see, and that's the other thing.
But I see both sides of the coin. Hold on, I see both sides of the coin. I see the side of where he was coming from, saying, don't disrespect the flag and take a knee during national anthem. Do it any other time. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But there is one point in time that he particularly holds sacred, as well do many other people. And for him, it's the national anthem and respecting the flag, respecting the country, and respecting everything. Now, I see Thump's point of view as well as to what the flag stands for in his interpretation of it.
Mm.
So it's a very delicate situation. Do I feel he needed to apologize for it? No. Do I feel like he handled his apology in a very as elegant of a way as he possibly could? Yes. But at the same time, it almost vilified him even more because he came back out and said something because, now he's admitting that he's wrong.
I don't know. He just said something else 22 minutes ago, too. He just posted another video on Instagram. I think he had no choice but to say something or face being suspended or fired because, action is detrimental to the league.
Maybe not.
If it would have started anything in New Orleans and the first fucking sign that would have showed up outside the Superdome talking shit about Breeze and throwing shit.
I don't think it necessarily had to do anything to do with the people. Look at his co-workers. I mean, I can start here and just start reading off a list of current and ex-NFL players who have come out to say, "You stupid white motherfucker, what the fuck were you talking about? And how dare you?" Especially at this time of, we need to stand up.
It is the especially at this time.
Right. Again, he was just roped into fucking stupid motherfucker, roped into an interview with Yahoo Sports, no less.
Yeah, and see, that's the real problem with the scenario that played out for him was we all have followed his career long enough, and we know the type of guy he actually is, and so do a lot of these players too. But he was baited into making a statement that he shouldn't have made now.
Yep. Why they chose him over anybody else is beyond me. He could have taken Aaron Rodgers. That probably would have been smarter. But then yet, I mean, okay, here's a guy in New Orleans.
Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
Well, Kirk, in Minnesota, yeah. That probably would have been your poster boy right there.
Could have been.
Should have
But
been.
the first thing that came out after the very first brick was thrown in Minneapolis was motherfuckers are stealing everything but Kirk Cousins jerseys. So that politically wouldn't have worked.
That and work boots, man. Can't find a pair of work boots on eBay for cheap, but I can fucking get it. 746 iPhones under $300. Oh, brand new, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, the new Jordans that everybody wants, they're on eBay right now. 1,126 new listings went up yesterday for Jordans.
We a couple of weeks ago. This is pre Floyd.
Right, pre-riot. Yeah.
We ordered 1,020 cell phone cases on a pallet.
Okay.
They were just like a store had closed down. All of their inventory got shoved into this box, and we received it for like pennies.
Yeah, odd lots. I love that shit. I did that with computers here.
1,020. Yeah, I got one of those lined up right now. A 10K order.
I did that years ago. I bought a pallet of fucking computers, and then anytime anybody needs a new PC, it was like, I got one for you. No problem. That's $500. Give me $500 for that. Here you go.
I may have that same deal here in the next couple months. Me and the boss man are talking about getting a pallet. So, well, not a pallet. We're talking about actually buying out an inventory. But
I'm actually trying to figure out a way to do that now for the office. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's chat about baseball and where the fuck they thought they were going and where they're not going, and will we even see baseball? I mean, because that's a bit of a fucked up twist right there. You go from 85 games to 90 games to 110 to the MLB Players Association going, 50 games. Curious to know your thoughts in whether or not we'll even have fucking baseball. So we'll talk about that and amongst other things when we come back during the break. Brand new song to cover. Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly covering a song that I personally feel is appropriate for today, for the times, for what the fuck is going on. If it grows, Thursday night. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening. Do you like to laugh? Are you at one with the ha-ha? Do you like your comedy coming over the streaming medias? If so, then go directly to Amazon right now. Do not hesitate and download Jim and Drino's Not Dead Yet. Recorded live at the world famous comic strip. It is a giggle-a-second fun fest. An hour of me for you. Jim and Drino's Not Dead Yet. Available only on Amazon.
Jim Mendrino's Not Dead Yet. Now available on Amazon Prime. Watch it today.
Hi, I'm Snowy Angel. And I'm Kinky Candies. Have you had Spunk Lube yet? Oh, you have got to get it. I mean, really, it's the lube that everyone's talking about and everyone's going to want. Look at that. It looks like real cotton. Yeah. I mean, how can that get better? I mean, it's nice. It's so good when you rub it all over yourself. Everywhere. And you know what gets better about it? There's different kinds of Spunk Lube. They actually have hybrid. Yes, and they have different colors too. Like they have pink and yellow and even green. Like, what can get better than that? If you want like the kinkiest, spiciest nights, yeah, Spunk Lube. Oh, hell yeah. Get Spunk today. Get today at spunklube.com. That's right. Spunklube.com. Don't forget it. Get yours right now.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
You've given us the real American dream. A tray, 15 feet of food, and a little sign that says,
Go nuts, buddy.
Pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Pushing side dish innovation to its limits, you offer creamed everything and 400 flavors of gelatin.
Feeding frenzy.
If there's beef, you'll chip it. If there's chicken, you'll fry it. And if there's gravy, well, then everything's going to be okay.
Thank God for the gravy.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, buffet boy. You know the way to a man's heart and a few hundred tasty ways to challenge it.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Fort Collins, Colorado.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hey, everybody out there. This is John G, and I have a special on Amazon called Live and Large. It's a stand-up special. It's funny. It was shot at the Comic Strip Live in New York City. You're going to love it. You're going to see me at my biggest. See, a few weeks ago, I had a heart attack. So if you don't want to go watch it because I'm funny, have some pity on me. Go watch my special. Anyway, I'm not going to be so big anymore. No more living large. I got to lose weight. You want me to take off pounds? I don't want to take off pounds. I love food. But anyway, go watch the special. It's going to be funny. And I don't know how much longer I got to live. I'm wearing this defibrillator thing. I don't know what this thing does. Supposedly it shocks me if my heart stops. My heart stopped years ago. Anyway, John G, Living Large, Amazon. Go check it out before I'm not here to watch.
John G. Living Large, now available on Amazon Prime.
Hey, that's something you want to get off the chest? We want to hear it. Call in 917-720-3038. The Ironic Radio hotline is now open. Ironic Radio. Well, isn't it?
I'm listening to 8-Bit Bros.
What are you, Brady?
Forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. Now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. And now you do what they told you. Now you're under control. Those who die are justified for wearing a badge they had chosen white. You justify those who die for wearing a badge they had chosen white. Those who die are justified for wearing a badge they had chosen white. You justify those who die for wearing a badge they had chosen white. Come on. I won't do what you say. what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Motherfucker!
What's up, everyone? We're back. Waiting on Webb and Thump.
Yeah.
There you are.
I don't know what happened. That cut short?
No, I played the whole song.
It seemed like a cut short. I didn't even grab a beer. I was just able to say hi and run to the fucking bathroom. And anyway, 8-Bit Bros. Baseball. What do you think, Ren? I mean, the bullshit going back and forth between the three. Players.
I think if they play, they play.
MLB. Right now, it don't look. MLB turned around and said, yeah, no, there is no counter offer. We put it out there. That's that. I mean,
there's going to be baseball. MLB does not want to go an entire calendar year without making any money whatsoever.
They might be better off.
They're too much of a money whore in order to let that ride.
Just might be better off.
It creates too much of a quagmire of shit. What happens to all the contracts? This year, what happens? I didn't play. I didn't get paid. So now my contract is another year longer, which, think about it. Some of these people who are getting up there in years are now on the hook if they want to retire. But they can't because they're under contract. You know, I mean, there's a lot more ramifications in play than the MLB going, you know what? Fuck you, we're not doing it.
I think it may come down to that.
I doubt it.
I mean, a 50-game season is useless. If you're not playing at least half the season, there's no point. There's no point.
Well, they shouldn't have tried to double back and be money-grubbing whores and stuck to the original deal that was struck in March.
That's the yes. What is that? I'll take that. What are you drinking tonight?
Me? Seltzer water.
Seltzer water. I'm drinking local Jersey Cyclone. Made a trip there. I'm drinking their wit beer. It's called Wit Happens. It's it is it is a good beer. I don't know what I drank before, but that was a fucking yes you can. What I drank before was a sweet tart, kettle sour. What was in that? Guava? No, mango and something else was in that. Oh boy, talk about a sour. But it's a pretty beer. I don't know. I think baseball's got some big time issues. I think it's going to be easier for other leagues, NHL, NBA, to finish their seasons because they will.
NBA's already doing it. They've already come back and said
22,
all but 8 teams are going to, all or 8 or 10 teams are going to play an 8-game
round robin playoff.
8-game regular rest of the season. Then they're going to play playoffs as normal. Hope to be done by October.
Yes.
I had this conversation with Max. I'm like, and then how do they approach next season when their season generally starts in October?
You just start it right up. Nothing.
I don't think it'll roll that way.
Nothing should change. You finish up before whatever drafts and all that bullshit, and just roll into the next season, and everybody will be in shape. I think baseball's got a whole nother issue, and it's greedy money. Greed. It's money. It's greed.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what it is.
And I think the greed is on the Players Association.
No, I think the greed is on MLB. They had struck a deal with them in March. This is what we're thinking. Everyone said, great, we're on board.
Right.
And then in May, because because MLB thought it was going to be a nothing and they'd be playing baseball, they want to come back to the table and renegotiate a contract that people had already agreed upon. So
Well-
it's the MLB coming back and changing the rules or changing the terms of a contract that was already agreed upon because the MLB all of a sudden realizes that they're not going to make the money that they want.
Well, how do you?
And
pay
they're turning
somebody-
screws on the Players Association. So
I-
I don't hold anything against the players. I hold this against MLB. You had a deal. Everyone agreed. They were all on board. All you had to do was put it into place.
Can barely see your mask with that beard going on, bro. It's actually-
All they had to do was put it in place, and they
but-
decided they wanted to change the terms. That's on the MLB. That's not on anybody else.
But you got to look at it from the other side. I mean, you're contracted to the starting pitcher, MLB. You're contracted to start 30 games. The season's only going to be you're only going to be able to start 15. Do you deserve your full fucking salary?
Wasn't it the new term? Wasn't the deal agreed upon a prorated salary?
Well, the Players Association didn't like that either.
But they
fought-
agreed
But
upon
they
it in
agreed to
March.
it.
That's
So-
the point.
Yeah,
They
trying to
agreed
go
to-
back and argue that, oh, well, they didn't like it then. Maybe they should just get back at the table too.
Yeah, but okay, back then it was prorated at 75%. Now we're trying to squeeze in fucking 4 months. That's not 75% of the season.
And is that the players' fault?
No, it's not the player's fault, but why?
It's nobody's fault. The MLB had a deal of a prorated contract.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a prorated contract.
I look at it this way: if you can't fucking come to terms with it, don't fucking play.
That's
We
exactly
just-
what they said. We
Right.
couldn't come to
So
terms with it.
I ain't gonna play. Don't.
This
We
is what our deal will be because we don't agree with this.
We just fired 1,000 minor leaguers. We'll just bring them up. Scrub the season, just like fucking '85.
Well, the question is, how does the MLB handle and how do teams handle if they come back?
Yeah.
And Maximus and I had this conversation last night.
Mhm.
How do you handle you almost have to run an expanded 40-man roster because
Oh.
you don't have a farm system to go pick and choose from and send players down to go get healthy and play games and all that. So you
Right, but-
have to run a 40-man.
They already expanded it to like fucking 50.
Haven't read anything about that.
It was expanded.
Personally, I'm taking the side of the players. I think what MLB is doing is dirty pool.
Oh, see, and I think it's the opposite way. I think it's the
Well, you already had an agreed upon contract. They already agreed to not take a full salary.
yeah.
They agreed not to take their full salary. They agreed to a prorated deal.
Up until
where the MLB fucked up their contract with the Players Association was they should have put a sliding scale in saying, if we get back to baseball at this time, it's 75%. If we get back to baseball at this time, it's 60%, and so on and so forth, to the point that it all made sense. So if you were only playing for 62 games, a half a season, or 82 games, a half a season, you're only getting 50% of your money.
Yep, they're trying.
That's
to
how
fix
they
their-
should have done it.
They're trying to fix their blunder by going back to the table and saying, "Hey, we all agree to this new deal," and the players
Right.
are like, "Why? We already have a deal in place. This is what we
Exactly.
said. When baseball resumes, this is what we're doing."
Exactly. It's on the MLB because they screwed the pooch from the jump in a bad contract that they negotiated, that they're the ones that look like the idiots now, not the Players Association. I don't blame the players for not wanting to go back and renegotiate.
No, I think you're wrong there because if you remember, we're going to pause the world for 15 days. Oh, hold on, 3 days later. Well, let's make that 30. With 30 is where we're going to pause the world for 30 days.
Again, if the MLB was smart, and they are way smarter than the three people sitting here right now,
But time out.
and have
It's
lawyers.
Smarter than the government that said, let's pause the world for 30 days, and now we're on day 80?
Well, this
I mean,
is what
if
you
you're
get
going-
into when
No,
you're
no, no,
dealing
no.
with.
If you're going to listen to the rule makers and you're going to follow that, well, they changed their mind 6 ways to Tuesday. So how is that the MLB's fault?
Wouldn't
It's not.
I? Hold on. Wouldn't I, in that case, knowing that, because we're just as smart enough to know that they're going to do that type of shit, right? We knew that the
50
rules were going to continue to change. Why wouldn't we go? All right, so 3 weeks out from now, if we're still in these type of situations, let's revisit. A month from now, if we're still, 2 months from now, if we're still, I mean, it's still just what Ren said. If they would have put a sliding scale or a end date for renegotiation in place at the time of the original contract, fine. But they didn't, and this is a fuck up on their behalf. And this is why they were pushing so hard to get back to the table, and why the the MLB Players Association is not worried about it. Why should they come back? 75% of their fucking pay. Why would you wouldn't go back to the table if they tried to, if you knew they were going to try and lessen that number? You wouldn't.
No, probably not. Probably.
You'd be like,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
you
take
fucked
yourself
up.
and put yourself in the position of a player, someone who almost played professional ball. If this is you right now, and you're playing ball, and you already had a deal, you're like, well, okay, I'm not making my full pay.
Webby is fuck you, I'm out.
It's hard for me to say because I just looked at my bank account and thank you, New Jersey unemployment.
See, fuck you, I'm out.
Okay, I'm over here raping the system. I don't want to use it. And yeah, I'm over here raping the system. So I get the players trying to stand by what was proposed and what was agreed upon. I can understand the MLB side of it going, well, we just lost another 2 months and there's no fucking way we can make enough money to pay you. I don't agree with their sliding scale that they came out with. If you're a fucking, an 80 million plus contract guy, you're only getting 25%. But if you're well, maybe that makes sense. If you're a guy making 200,000, you're going to get at least 75% of your salary. I guess that makes sense because why should the rich benefit from all this and the poor get poorer?
Yeah, but
it's
not just that though. It's an overtime scale for all of the players.
Well, yeah,
That's the scale. If you wanted to do a sliding scale overtime for the players,
that's what they proposed. The sliding scale based on games played, based on your contract.
No, you're talking about sliding scale individually. Like a contract slide is what you're talking about. If you're making big money, the slide on you is heavier. If you're not making as much money, the slide on you is less.
Yeah. And tell me what's wrong with that, because that's exactly what the government did to us. That's exactly what the government just did to us.
This is still an overtime perspective where why would the players come back?
Hey, well, okay. You're right. Why should people go back to work? Stay on unemployment, collect more money. Take the whole fucking thing and take your 13 weeks and they're going to give you more than that because for the first time in 30 years, unemployment's over 8%. So now you get an extra fucking 18 weeks. Might as well stay home and collect unemployment. Destroy the economy even more. Same thing with baseball. You want all your fucking money. There won't be a season next year.
I mean, baseball is essentially just trying to pull income back. That is exactly what they're doing.
I mean, NASCAR's doing this.
Everybody knows right now is the worst time to ask people to come back and do something.
No shit. I think everybody should go back to work. And the riots real fast. Riots and protests will be over. So tell everybody they can go back to work. 40 million people go back to work. How many people are you going to think are going to be out there protesting and rioting? Ain't going to be a hell of a lot.
Did you see that we got a new NASCAR season?
We got a fucking 8 races in 3 weeks now, and
yeah, the 27th the Cups will run, 28th Cup will run, July 5th they'll run,
back to back
12th they'll run.
Still doing the Sunday Wednesday schedules.
Yeah, the 19th they'll run, the 23rd they'll run, and the 2nd they'll run.
Sucks for 4th of July is NASCAR said no fans in the stands when the state of Kentucky turned around and said we are fully open on April 3rd or on July 3rd.
Well, the Xfinity Series is running on July 4th.
The ISM, where it's Indy and NASCAR back to back. No fans in the stands, even though the state is fully open.
Indianapolis is running on the 5th. They're not running on July 4th.
Okay, the 5th, right. The whole 4th of July weekend is fucking 7 races in 24 hours. Trucks are running and Xfinity's running the day before. 12 hours after that, you've got the Great American Race.
Trucks are not running at Indy.
Oh, they're not. Well, no, they're not running Indy. They're running somewhere else, aren't they?
Not
Fourth,
listed.
Third? It's not listed. Okay. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
Not listed. What I have here is the trucks will run on June 27th, and they don't run again until July 11th.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. I know it came across, and I was like, "Holy fuck! Look at this list from here to August. God damn!"
Yeah, June 27th to July 11th is the gap between theirs.
And then I immediately turned my attention to 4th of July weekend because we're doing what, Indy 500 and
Yeah, it's Xfinity and Cup and Indy.
And Indy at the same track.
It'll be over the course of the weekend. Xfinity gets the track pretty much solo on Saturday for their event. It won't be heavily run, except for practice sessions that'll run before it. For all cars, they'll be able to run practice sessions. It'll be staggered.
Yes.
Then Xfinity's going to run, and if I'm not mistaken, who gets the early race? Isn't Indy running early and Cup running late on Sunday?
Think about how fast the Cup cars are going to be with the amount of rubber
that is going to be put down by all of the Indy cars. Yeah. But they don't run. They're not going to run that same line, though.
No, but still, Indy cars run 3 wide most of that race. There's rubber all over that track. You got Xfinity run the day before that. It's not, okay, if the weather's
there's
good.
There's going to be a really fast line.
Oh, big time. And I think there's going to
for the Indy race, which will equate to probably a shift in the way they run the track. Because Xfinity is going to be running, what is it? 151 miles?
Yeah, 151 miles. Right. I was going to say 250 laps, but that's not right. It's like 80 something laps or some shit like that.
Right. Broke down in what is it? Broke down 20-20-60?
Yeah,
or
something
is it
like
30-30-60 or 30-30-40?
30-30-58 or some crap like that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the breakdown was because everybody's got to remember NASCAR has broke down into segments now. They don't run one race; they run 3 races. And
yeah, Ren, as far as MLB, teams will be allowed to have 50 players each under the COVID plan, with the number active for each game still to be negotiated. So it's a 50.
Yeah, I figure it's still going to only be the 26 that's generally allotted.
And then they already pushed that to 28. So the new rules for MLB are a 28-man roster. So it's definitely.
Then you get your 28, and everyone else is backup.
I think you'll get like 35. I think you'll get 35, and then the rest in reserve to be not called up that same game day, but like tomorrow. Oh shit, he went down. We need a new guy. Get him tomorrow. Okay, good. But yeah, it's 50-man roster, which before was only 28. And then your farms team that you had to call up from and designate. So now you got a 50-man roster, and I don't know if this is because they knew they were going to fire all the fucking let go, I should say, or close down the farm system, AA, AAA, single A. I don't know. But and NASCAR took a 25% cut for employees, 20% cut for drivers. But NASCAR also knew they were going to only miss 5 races. That was kind of their plan all along, was to double down. Even France had said that.
So, okay, you're only missing 5 races, but you're making them all up by the end of the season. Why is anybody taking a pay cut?
No, I don't think they're not. Those races that were lost are lost because they're in places that they don't want to visit. Or Thump, you got it in front of you? What's the new list of states they're going to race in? Where are these races taking place from May to August?
Pocono,
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Excuse me.
Northern Pennsylvania.
Indy.
Kentucky.
Okay.
Charlotte, Texas,
North
Kansas,
Carolina,
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Kansas is in Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas?
That would
Kansas?
be Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Missouri.
Right. Okay. So that's I wasn't sure if it was Missouri or Kansas because you know that town split in half borders on there's 2 Kansas Cities.
Yes, Kansas. Well, no, it's Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City,
Missouri.
Missouri.
Right. It's cut in half.
That is the same town.
Yeah. It's just cut in half.
It just occupies 2 states.
Right. Yeah. State line. I didn't know which state it was in. I didn't want to get it wrong because.
Where the track is, I think it's in Missouri.
Isn't there a piece of it in fucking Kansas City too? Isn't it right there on the border? Isn't that where they built that track? I remember something about that.
I think it is the Kansas.
Oh, and by the way, Ren, baseball players are not allowed to ride the subway or buses or public transportation, period.
Not surprised by that.
If you need transportation outside of your own vehicle, you can only use Uber.
Lol.
No
Partner with the MLB.
Yeah, no Lyft, just Uber. Yeah. No in-catering on flights, by the way, if there's flight travel. We know the NBA is not doing any of that. They just said, fuck it. If Florida's going to open everything up, that's where we're going to play. Which actually makes sense because Disney World's got like 8 fucking basketball arenas.
It is in Kansas City, Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas? Okay.
Yes, it's 400 Speedway Boulevard, Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah.
Is its listed address.
Basketball comes back. Do you care?
No, because I don't generally care about basketball anyway. So,
yeah,
I do have to say that I like the way that they decided to come back. I've heard a little bit about it, and I kind of like the idea. I'm like, oh, that's cool, just to come back and do a playoffs, but it's this team setup playoffs.
Yeah.
So what is it, like a 40 team tournament or something like that now?
22 team, 8 don't go, 22 or 24, 8 don't go. 8 teams don't make it. Same thing with hockey. It looks like it's going to be 8 teams don't make it. And the rest are in the playoffs, which is kind of goes backwards to where those 2 leagues started anyway. I mean, it used to be 24 teams and 16 went to the playoffs. Like, what's the point of having a season? Well, obviously, we're not having a season this year. But
no, this is just to put sports on TV because not for anything. This is purely to get the economy of basketball, baseball, football. This is what all of this is about. This is just to get them making money again. We know that is what now they're starting to feel the belt tighten.
Sure.
So we know that's what the approach is. That is purely the motivation of the leagues is, oh, God, if we don't do this, we're going to be hurt. Like, majorly.
Yeah. Yes.
But at the same time,
especially now that COVID is over in certain places.
Well, we're also interested to kind of keep an eye on what's going on currently to see if that changes the narrative at all of that. Because nothing like some good old riots to, like, check your fucking COVID scenario out.
Well, not for anything. I mean,
protesters are smart, though. They wear masks.
Yeah, well, some of them, yes. But look, the numbers aren't there anymore. The numbers are not there. I mean, I listened to New York Cuomo, and oh God,
Yeah, but remember, we're talking about a time thing, and we didn't time change the numbers originally, and maybe we're at the end of that scale. This public blast of people, this is not going to be known for another couple of weeks.
Well,
so another couple of weeks is when we need to be paying attention to whether or not we see another spike.
Agreed.
And we have to be cautious about everything between then.
I mean, I have never believed in the second wave personally, per se. I think we as a nation did a exuberant job. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't think so. Exuberant job of protecting ourselves.
Is that
and
really the
social-
word he's looking for, Ren? Please, I would like you to dive in here and please,
exuberant job. We went above and beyond.
please
We did
step
an
in on this one.
Exuberant?
job. Yes.
No.
Yeah. Well, what word am I looking for? You tell me. We went above and
Ask
beyond.
Google to define.
There you go.
Ask Google to define exuberant for you.
I don't have that device in here. Hey, Google. Definition of exuberant.
Here's the definition of exuberant. Filled with or characterized by a lively energy and excitement.
There you go. We did an excellent, exuberant, exciting job.
You did a bang-up job.
Social distancing. I think. I think
you could have just stood there, held the Bible upside down and backwards, and took a picture, man.
Hitler did the same thing.
Okay.
His was upside down and backwards too, if I'm not. No, it wasn't, because you could read King James on it. That's right, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was somebody. Maybe it was Lyndon B. Johnson or some shit like that. Held it upside down and backwards. But I think we did a great job of social distancing, staying at home, not visiting people that you shouldn't be. I mean, okay, maybe I busted the rules a little bit here and there, but I trusted my circle. I just think New York, which was one of the biggest hotspots, the numbers don't sustain where we're at with reopening. Now, I get it that other states have reopened, and now their numbers are going up. And I mean, even Cuomo was like, he called out the states, Utah, Kansas, Kentucky. He called them out. And yeah, those are also states that are doing a lot more testing now.
Nobody's doing any more testing now than they were before.
New York is testing 50,000 people a day, when before that they were testing 1,100. So your statement's wrong. So is New Jersey.
How are they?
Yeah, you go get your test yet? Oh, that's right. You don't believe in that. Never mind.
No, I'm the one who was waiting to get the test. I'm not.
No. Are they testing for the virus, or are they testing for antibodies?
You can get either test now. It don't matter. You can choose. You can get both. You can drop anywhere. Both tests. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for one of them, period. Insurance is not covering both. They're only going to cover one. But I would go get both. I don't give a fuck. Hey, you want my checkbook? No problem. Let's go. I'll pay for everybody's fucking tests right now. The money isn't the issue. Money's not even the point. I thoroughly believe everybody should be tested, and I will definitely get tested. Right now, I'm just dealing with my chest injury, which I need an x-ray for. But the numbers don't sustain it anymore. New York, 50,000 tests, 2% positive. That's 1,000 people. That's 1,000 people. 52 deaths. We had 52 deaths on March 28th, and now we have 52 deaths on June 3rd. So the curve is gone. Second wave, I'm still not so sure if I believe in that. The numbers we see escalating is due to more and more testing. What's New Jersey's number? New York is testing 50,000 people a day. Jersey finally is close to 1 million people tested out of 9 million. So those numbers are going up and up too. The other problem there with testing is, like you said, have you got tested yet? No. People aren't going and getting tested. Now, I know I bitch about it all the time, but I haven't either. That's on me. I'm not happy about the fact
but you also don't believe in getting the test for the virus anymore. You say that doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference. Look at the curves. Look at the numbers. It doesn't make a difference. It's more important to know if you had it than if you have it. Because remember, you're social distancing. You're not leaving the house, and if you do, you're wearing a mask. So it doesn't fucking matter if you have it. It's better to know if you had it. Because then all these fucking people can go back to work in their social distance limiting situations, whatever the case may be. 2 days a week, you go into the office, you're home for 28 days a month, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a totally new world once things go back to some sort of normalcy. Every state's different. This week, I finally get to go have a sit-down dinner at a fucking. I'm going to the bar. I'm gonna have a sit-down dinner at the bar, June 15th, and then guess what? On Father's Day, I'm going to Red Tank Brewing to sit there and drink. It's the perfect Father's Day because we're opening shit back up now. It's going to be in a parking lot or closing a street to bring out a table. That shit should have happened 2 weeks ago. The same way that this world should have taken more proactive with this whole virus, and fucking 2 weeks before they told us what to do, they should have told us what to do. To me, looking at these curves, I mean, all we heard for months is we need to flatten the curve. Well, now that curve is flat, and you still won't. Dog can get a haircut, but you can't. Your dog can get a haircut.
What do you mean?
But
people
you
here
can't.
can get haircuts.
No, not here. Not here. 5 states have salons open. 5 out of 5.
You got a haircut during COVID, so I don't want to hear you
I
bitching
paid
about
an
other
extra
shit.
$100 to get it, and you know what? I'd do it again.
Yeah,
because
and,
that was
and you might if people don't respond appropriately to the cries of the nation.
Okay, but here I have no symptoms of COVID. I did not wear a mask. I did not wear gloves. The guy who cut my hair, yes, wore a mask. I even told him if he wanted to take it off, he could, and he certainly did when he enjoyed one of the delicious Bloody Marys. And we had a good time after he was done cutting everybody's hair until he went to his next appointment. It's proof. There you go. 3 people haircuts, same person, nobody infected. Open up the fucking salons. Let people be responsible. Wear a fucking mask. Oh, that's the guidelines. Good luck getting a haircut while you're wearing a mask.
Oh, I'd have no problem getting a haircut while I have a mask on.
Well, you don't even have hair.
Yeah, you just shave everything that's not under the mask, and you're good because you're not touching my beard.
You're doing that shit in the shower, man. I mean, that's like Ren. I'm sure Ren lathers up every.
Oh no,
shit.
I don't do the Ren.
All right, you buzz, right?
Yeah, I buzz. So
right,
mine is just before a shower.
He's borderline straight razor. Straight razor would be better than the Harry shit he uses on his head. Straight razor would be way better. But his head is really soft when he shaves it. I will say that. Even I get a kind of stiffy over it every now and then when I would touch it.
That's
not
okay.
really happy
Ren,
about the way.
You're giving your boy a boner.
Well, look what my fucking girl does.
Not gay.
Yeah, it's not gay. It's not gay. We didn't fucking duel swords or, rub testicles. That's not gay.
Is that a thing?
Maybe we need what rubbing testicles? Sure, when you're going in opposite holes from the same position.
Well, no, they touch and slap, and at some points, according to if you decide to press them against each other, they would rub.
This is going to be
but when you said rubbing testicles, I picture 2 guys actually grabbing their testicles together and going,
kind of
rubbing them like their lips or something,
Kind of where the chicks do bumping fuzzies.
Yeah. It's like, take that. I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's an interesting technique, I guess, but I don't see what it would do for anybody.
Here's a sick question that I just can't let go because it popped into my head as we said that. And for either one of you, you ever been with the chick with 2 guys at the same time and your balls slapped together as you're thrusting? Well, bam. Like Tommy knockers. Yeah. Oh, ouch. No. Ouch is an understatement. It's like Tommy knockers.
Well, no, it's those fucking. It's those
kabangers.
What are? Bangers.
Kabangers.
Yeah, kabangers are fucking hard. Clack, 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 clack.
Bam! Right in the wrist.
Yeah, I was thinking more about the single ball that hits with the. What's the machine called? It's called a something.
It's not a metronome because that's what you use. No,
metronome is to keep timing.
No, not a metronome. It's different. Yeah. I don't know what that's called. My nephews have one. I keep untwisting all the wires and lines all the time. I don't know. Someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think every kid should have one of those.
Fuck yeah.
Growing up, you should definitely experience that thing.
Sure, you try and get 2 going and then 1, click 2 and 1 and 2 and 1.
No, I like the 3 to 2.
Yeah, 3 to 2, 3 to 1, 4. Sometimes it goes 4 if you get it right.
You could get to 4 to 1, where you get that 1 to snap off, and then the other 3 go with it, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Leaving 1 behind, standing still. You're like, you got to be kidding me.
So I mean, I get I get numbers going up in the states that are open, and that's always going to be a focus because they opened up before we did, and oh, they're not following proper guidelines because we shouldn't be doing, and whatever the case may be. So and plus, like I said, testing is now up. I don't know how accurate it is. I mean, there's there's many different studies that are saying none of these tests are accurate.
Yeah,
Now,
highly possible. I mean,
Yeah.
all right.
But if they've isolated the virus down to the fucking genome, which they have, and they know it's IS231 or whatever the fuck it is, and that's what the test is. So you're either positive or negative unless you give off a false positive, which I get. False positives happen all the time, even in fucking anything. Drug test, false positive. Well, I had 4 bagels this morning. They were poppy bagels. One bagel ain't going to do it. Eat 4 of them? Yeah, it's going to do it. It's going to give you a false positive.
Possible.
Just doubt. That's almost fact. You look that shit up.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's according to the deli you go to sometimes too, because some poppy bagels aren't as poppy as others.
It depends on where the poppies are coming from.
Right.
That's the key.
That too.
Poppy seeds, excuse me. That's the key. And they don't get them from Afghanistan anymore. They probably come from fucking China. Everything comes from China. Everything comes from China. Car industry is going to change drastically. You don't need to go to a dealership anymore. How pissed do you think governors are going to be across the entire fucking country? This is the whole reason why Tesla, they wouldn't let Tesla sell cars in certain states because you needed to have a dealership. Now, you can buy a car straight from fucking GM, period. Well, you still got to go through the dealership. You're ordering it through a dealership, but you can do it right online.
Yeah, but now it's online dealerships. You've got places like Carvana that.
Oh no! I'm talking about your fucking.
Well, yeah, but they're using these same delivery methods. They're jumping into the same realm that other online spots were doing, and it's the automotive manufacturers that are like, well, we'll get new cars into your field now too.
What about
because
the
that was used cars that was primarily going through an online service, and now new cars are finding out that so many used cars are being sold that they've had a lapse on a lot of lots about the numbers of cars that are being sold.
What do you think about the price increases we're going to see across the board for certain things? I mean, like right now, and talking about car dealerships, I can call up my dealership and be like, yeah, something's wrong with the car. I think it's the water pump. And they'll come right here and fix it right here. I ain't got to take it there no more. They'll come right here and fix it. Because, that's COVID safe.
Yeah, but what is that about? So how much are they charging you to do that?
I don't know, but what do you think that? It ain't going to be the same as you dropping your car off there.
Well, no, of course not. It wouldn't be expected to be because now you've got to equate new cost into the method of doing it. I mean, it makes sense. Nothing about it proves itself to be invalidated at all. You expect the price increase, one, because the economy's been shut down for so long, and two, because they're going to be coming right to your fucking doorstep, which they never did before. So you're getting a tailored personal service.
Is it tailored personal service, or is it, COVID scared? I don't want to go to you, and you're offering home fucking $50 more. Oh, okay.
It still becomes a tailored personal service at that point.
Yeah, I get that.
Whether or not it was COVID scared that got them to do it, it does end up being the end result is still exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter what method they took to get there. Maybe this was the moment that pushed all industries into the online realm of dealings, which meant everything can be home-based up to a certain percentage. And not for anything, if they start getting some of these other cars out here, some of these other transport vehicles that can actually do the mobile lifts.
Yeah, right.
You'll see every bit of work be able to shift to a mobile division.
The other thing I wanted to tell you guys, and Monday. No, last Monday. Last Monday.
I thought
I
you were
got
about
up.
to say 3 Mondays ago.
No, last Monday. Because I want to get my date right. This was on CNN. I got up, came downstairs, made my coffee, sat on the couch, turned on CNN, and the very first news article that I watched from start to finish, not the one I turned the TV on because I had no fucking clue what they were talking about then, but the first thing they were talking about was what is the future landscape of commercial real estate.
Oh, yay. It's about time that people caught up.
I'm glad you said those exact words because I was sitting there and this was like 8:30-ish. Okay, babe had just sat down, logged into work, and I said to her, you got to come the fuck over here and listen and watch this shit because this is everything. Once again, and of course, not to be expected because it's going to pop up, especially in the financial markets, but this is everything we've talked about, I don't know, a month and a half ago. It's just another one of those, I was waiting for, in the middle of that segment, Isren's lying. Because everything they were saying it was pretty much verbatim what we said. Even down to the idea of paying your employees for their utilities was what was coming out of their mouths. I think it was Don Lemon. I'm not sure. No, it couldn't have been Don Lemon. It might have been that Poppy chick because it was early in the morning.
Yeah, we like it when we're validated and proven to be smart individuals. We appreciate it.
It's because it's few and far between that anything that comes out of my mouth is smart. But, yeah, it was interesting to see them talking about that. And actually, commercial real estate markets took a fucking nosedive that day. But I don't know. There's just...
It's funny. I just found out today I'm opening another tobacco store and may possibly be going to Virginia to open a restaurant, too.
Huh. Virginia, huh?
Yeah.
That's a hop, skip, and a jump, though.
Literally. To the place I'd be going is maybe not even 45 minutes away.
Yeah, my first instinct was an hour, but everything's always an hour.
Yeah, somewhere between half an hour to an hour is pretty much about anything that the normal Greensboro person may be able to go to.
Yes.
Raleigh's a little bit longer than an hour sometimes, and Charlotte's a little bit longer than an hour. But it still fits the criteria,
Yeah, it certainly fits the criteria.
Yeah, we jumped. We had a guy today come into the warehouse that drove 2 hours to get to our store.
Okay.
We were like, what? It's like, man, he had to come from like Richmond or something. I mean, the only place you could think that he possibly would have heard of us, seen us on Facebook, and had to drive 2 hours to get to us. It's like, you're coming from, I mean, there's only a few places that you could be coming from to have to drive 2 hours to get here.
Question for both of you. Thoughts on a video game company shutting down their servers for 2 hours today to honor George Floyd?
Okay. Good on them. If that was the way that they decided to take Blackout Tuesday and put their own message out there as a stance, all right, more power to them, especially if that was the pretense that they did it under.
Black Lives Matter to honor the legacy of George Floyd today, 6/4/20, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be shutting down access to our online games.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, NBA 2K.
Rockstar or 2K games.
All Rockstar
2K games.
Take-Two Interactive, and I can't remember who else is underneath there.
I like it. I like it. It was a unique opportunity for them to be able to express their commitment to the cause.
What else? Dragon City, Monster Legends, Private Division, Outer Worlds.
Yeah, more power to them. Go get it.
2 hours. There, I followed it on Twitter. There were quite a few people not happy. Like,
Of course, you know.
Fucking stuck home in a pandemic, and all I have is my console.
Yeah,
and
but
it
this
took-
is also the same little shit-headed little fucking 13-year-old that hops on going in the whole time he plays Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, it's true. I mean,
You
look,
know, so I'm not worried about some of those disgruntled.
I sat and played my fucking Minecraft dungeons today.
Yeah, dude. I am in my Adventure 2 mode and just got to the fucking lava place again.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Dude, it took me 2 days this time to be able to fucking actually get a build together that was going to be able to go in there and do what needed to be done.
Fucking adventure mode is no joke.
No, it is
No.
not. I can't wait to
Because-
get to the next one, though.
I said this the other day, and we had this conversation. I'm not playing the game like some fucking little 13-year-old who figures out how to get the lava goblin to get stuck on the environment and stand in front of him and swipe at him until he's dead. No,
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. I refuse to do that in any video game. I want to play the game. I don't give a fuck how hard it makes it. I'm not one to try and find or use any cheeses. That was my point last week, or Tuesday. I'm playing the game at the hardest fucking possible. So I finally beat all that, and I didn't know it. I actually beat it that night, but we had to go on air, so I paused the game. I shut my controller off because that's the only way to pause the game. You can't pause it. Shut your controller off.
Right, you can't pause or hit the menu button in order to fucking do anything. It just fucking runs.
Shut your controller off, and it pauses it.
Yeah, it doesn't work on PC that way.
Right.
Because
so,
then it defaults to the keyboard. I'd have to unplug my keyboard and mouse and
so-
my controller in order to get that.
So we did the show that night, and after it was over and at 12 o'clock, we were done, wrapped up. I ran over there. I said, oh, fuck, my Xbox, make sure that shit's still on. Okay, I know I was right at the last board of this. Let me finish this. And then all I had to do was run down the fucking thing and go out the door, and it was done. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I'll play the next board and just beat that in 3 minutes, no problem.
Yeah, stage 2 of that for the adventure mode was fucking hellaciously fucking crazy. I got past it, and actually,
And the last boss wasn't all that hard, even though it was like kind of double boss, which was cool. I didn't expect that because I did die not knowing that it was double boss. I was like, oh, I'm going to go run over here now that I killed this little fairy and all of his fucking friends. And then all of a sudden the gate's not open. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the fucking snake dragon from the 1980s game Snake, whatever the fuck that was. Okay, yeah, I died there. And I said, fuck it, next morning I came and beat it. But I'm like at the end of adventure mode. And let me tell you, this shit's fucking hard because like I said, I did the other one. I'm going to play it on hard. It's only 5 to 12 levels higher than me. I can deal with that depending on what level it is. Sometimes it's 5 levels higher, other times it's 12. This fucking shit is 30 levels higher.
you're talking final boss because if you fight the fairy dude and all the people, and then stage 2 of that boss, you're at the end boss.
Right, I beat that. I'm in adventure mode. I'm up with you now.
You're on the second adventure mode.
Yeah, well,
It's called Adventure 2.
Adventure 2, yes. I'm on that, and I'm at the last board because that was kind of a cakewalk to get through on their lessest easy mode. I tried bumping it all the way up to hard, and I was like, wait, I'm a level 32, and you want me to fight everything that's a fucking level 60? Okay, I'll try it. That didn't last very long.
No, usually doesn't.
That did
I'm
not
like
last.
a level 48 now.
I think I'm 32 after completing the first one. I'm still
So
not.
you're not at the lava board anymore. You've already passed the lava board and you're fighting end boss.
I'm fighting the last mission on Adventure 2. The last one on the board.
God,
I did
it
that.
must be great to have that kind of time.
That's what I did today. I did nothing today. I decided I wasn't doing anything. I did a little bit of work.
Yeah, I
and then-
possibly could have done that, but I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the fact that they start to give you like.
Plus, I'm still sim racing. We're in week 13 shit, and I just got my new part yesterday.
I mean, I was kind of fucked up when I got skeleton horses with skeletons on them, and there was like 4 of them. That was kind of fucked up. Didn't expect it. which was kind of cool.
And they were enchanted.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything. You run into these pockets of fucking little enchanted shit in adventure mode all the fucking time. Like Adventure 2 is fucking stupid. Like you
Thank
just
God.
all of a sudden run into some shit that is just what?
Yeah, thank God for my triple bow. Thank God.
All right, so you're at the end of that. That means what is it? Abomination mode is the last one.
Yeah. I don't
And
know
that'll
if
be. I can't wait to see how long it takes you to actually get through that and see what that timer looks like. Because I just haven't had that kind of time. Like I
might not.
get to play a board in the morning and maybe a board in the evening.
Yeah, I spent
Yesterday I hung out and
8
with
hours.
the neighbors. Like I got off work and they were like, "Hey, feel like coming over here and hanging out for a minute?" And I was like, "You know what? That don't sound like a bad idea." And I walked back into the house. I was like, "Hey, babe." I was like, "I know you're watching your show right now." I was like, "I'm gonna go next door. Maybe you pack up a little goodie bag and join me here in a minute when I go next door." I was like, "No rush. You just do your show thing, and I'll go over here." We had a smorgasbord dinner last night that was unreal. We were gonna, because we're under curfew. He was like, "Well, we're gonna end up having to order," and all of us are kind of like, "I don't know what kind of possibility that is. I mean, we might have to order some really commercial shit in order to like get anything." You know, our places that we like to order from are probably not open.
Are you guys cooking at all?
Yeah, we cook quite a
When?
bit actually. But so we're with the neighbor, and she's like, "Well, shit, I was about to go and throw this fucking tray together of stuff. Would y'all be interested in having some?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
All right.
So you know what? Like if you go to Five Guys, you get that little tray thing that has like French fries in it. It's a little cardboard tray with the like red lattice stuff on the outside. All right, so
Absolutely.
she's got those, but they're like bigger. Like if you were to go to a barbecue place and get like barbecue slaw and fries in a tray, that was
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So she comes out with
Love those
this.
shit. By the way, I have them for the hot dogs. When I serve hot dogs, I put them on that. I fucking love.
She comes out with this tray that is probably 4 inches wide by like maybe 7 inches long,
Okay, decent.
and it's these little basket style trays. In it, we have garlic toast
All right.
with pimento cheese on it.
Okay.
We have rice, jasmine rice, with purple potato, some carrots, onions, gravy, and some chicken, and some fresh cucumber, some fresh cantaloupe, fresh cherries, and grapes. And that was dinner last night. And we're like, holy shit. They're like, what is it? We're all of a sudden we're looking. Everybody's looking at it because maybe we were a little lifted when she went in the house to go make things. And this is what lifted came back out with, was like, here's a snack pack. And it was great fresh food. Like all the cucumbers come from out in her garden out in the back, and the lettuce that the rice was served on with everything. Like you could have put it into a wrap with the lettuce wrap, and
Yeah.
like it was like a quick, here we go. And she's like, cleaned out a lot of leftovers. Her husband is like, this is not what I had in mind when I said, hey babe, we need to sort out something with the leftovers. He's like, but this is good. Because it came along at the right moment. We had all had a couple drinks and been sitting back there just enjoying ourselves. And all of a sudden there was this tray of like, what the fuck? because because when you look at it, you were looking at
Yeah.
a pile of pimento cheese and a pile of rice with like some vegetables and chicken on it, and then decorating around each of those, and in between them was the cherries and grapes.
Okay. Like cherries and grapes.
Cherries and grapes, and then we had, of course, the cantaloupe and cucumber.
Yeah.
I had to steal Q's cucumber because one of my pieces fell as she was coming out the door. And Q didn't want the cucumber, so I was like all about that life. But the cantaloupe was really good too. Nice fresh cantaloupe.
I like cantaloupe.
I like cantaloupe, mushmelon, watermelon, like all of them. Like
I'm a fruit guy. I mean, look what we did fucking last week or the week before. Margaritas, all with fresh fruits. Fuck syrups. Fuck all that shit. Give me my sour mix or margarita mix, which is nothing more than sour mix anyway. And fucking, what did I get? 5-6 pounds of fresh fruit. Just went to town with the blender. I'm really not cooking much of anything unless it's going on the grill. I'm ordering out.
Well, that's kind of what we do. Like, you asked if I was cooking, and yes, we're cooking, but most of the cooking that I'm doing is on the grill. But I've got, grill with the burner, so if we want to get a little bit more creative out there, you occasionally boil a little bit of water, heat up a little bit of oil, if you're going to do stuff. Like, you just...
We did breakfast on the grill the other day. Bacon, pancakes, eggs, hash browns on the fucking grill.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing. Like, we're having normal cook sessions, but we're just doing it outside.
But I'm doing a lot of ordering out.
We've cut a lot of that back for the most part, trying to just like not do too much of that.
I'm at the point where I've given my stimulus check, or both of us, two people have given that stimulus check back to local businesses. And that don't even include the stupid, exuberant amounts of money I've dumped at local breweries.
Yeah, see, now we are definitely, when we do order out, our ordering out is local. We don't order chain anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that unless, okay, I shouldn't say that. I did get the margaritas from Bubba 33's, and I did purchase the meat package from Texas Roadhouse. That was what? 4 steaks, 6 steaks, potato.
I don't know Bubba's, so you're probably safe with that one. But
Bubba 33 is part of Texas Roadhouse. It's their bar grill.
Oh.
If you don't have them popping up there, you got a Texas Roadhouse?
We do have a Texas Roadhouse, but
you will have a Bubba 33 sooner or later.
We've had a Texas Roadhouse. We've had 2 Texas Roadhouse for quite some time, and one of them actually shut down. They're not very successful here.
Yeah, sure, you're a land of barbecue. Why the fuck would I go get a steak?
Well, no, there are plenty of places that make steak.
Yeah. I get it. But if you've got one of them, you're destined to have a Bubba 33 directly attached to it.
Yeah.
In fact,
Interesting. I have to go check the one out there a little bit and see whether or not that's got some things going on with it. But no, ours was Longhorn and Lone Star are the two like steak places that are the chain steak restaurant.
Lone Star is way better than Longhorn.
There's Logan's and there's Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Like there's the 4 of them, but the bigger chain for us is Lone Star and Longhorn.
See, and that's funny because the steaks at Texas Roadhouse are definitely better. They're aged longer.
They're like Outback good.
Yeah, I think they're actually a little better than Outback. But
Outback early day Outback good.
Yeah, I think it's because of the seasoning of an Outback. But to me, and I'm a steak guy. I've eaten in every steakhouse in this fucking country, basically. every big name place I have eaten at, and Texas Roadhouse is one of the few, depending on what you order, that you can sit back and go, oh wow, that was just good as with Chris's, or oh shit, that filet I just ate was just like being in Gallagher's in New York City, or or wherever in Chicago. Their steaks are just aged to perfection. It's amazing, and you can get away with it for cheap. It was $55 for 2 fillets and 2 prime ribs or some shit like that. But I'll do it again. But yeah, no, the amount of money I'm spending on takeout, lunch at the fucking, gotta go support this place down here. Oh, this place just opened up. Got to order from there. Oh, well, it's Savage Bistro. No problem. I support that. Oh, fucking Don Giovanni's Pizzeria. Okay. It's every day now. Now I'm looking at my fucking bank account going, whoa.
Yeah, see, for me, I get a little bit of that during lunch. Like I got like a Fox Pizza that's around like the corner from where I work, and
But I guess the other part of it is I can't really get decent meats at the supermarkets because everyone's buying up all the meats, and then you go in there to get a fucking steak, and it's, you go to get
well,
like a
everybody's buying them up, and the grocery stores have been limiting them. Actually, y'all just you had to have both read the article that was talking about the what the chicken farms were just charged with.
Oh, I did read that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about, serious market control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying that you didn't have any problem that was legitimized this at all.
Look, it's tough, man. The supply chain is a fucked up thing to begin with.
Oh, now there's what is it? There's a guy who just recently was either on a Rogan or some other podcast that is the guy who's responsible for
the food chain,
the supply chain of the network of the supply chain.
Sure, and that's from farmer to shelf. That's your supply chain. If you don't know
what new farmers are, and like he explained the whole thing, and he explained like what the modern food chain looks like and what type of disruptions were just caused.
That's the reason why we couldn't close the fucking meat plants. I don't think a lot of Americans understood that. Well, it's a hot spot. We got to close this fucking. No, you can't close the fucking. You cannot close down the food chain.
Well, it was exactly what Elon Musk said when he was like, everything's all fun and dandy and throwing money at people out here in the public, but if people aren't making things, making food, making, like, this is one of the things that we need, if they're not making those things, there's going to be a real problem when we run out of things. And food is one of those things that has to be manufactured for our modern society.
The other problem with the supply chain, and I can point you into a few dossiers, documentaries on this because I've been watching
all the late arrivers into the Facebook group. Nice to see y'all.
It is the problem with the supply chain is we've made it so effective that any disruption in the supply chain makes it 100% ineffective. And that's what we saw. That's exactly why there was a fucking boom rush for toilet paper and produce. Ren said he was having problems finding cheese. I couldn't get fucking chicken.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny you bring up the chicken thing because the poultry industry is the number one that was being
poultry hugely affected.
Well, they're also talking about how they totally were on some fuck shit with what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poultry industry is taking a big hit right now because they supposedly tried to set the market with what they did.
Everybody's setting markets right now. That's what happens
but it is considered unethical business practices.
It's absolutely unethical. All through all this, gas prices went down. Everything else went up.
But the reason gas prices went down is honestly because the Middle East was like, oh yeah, here's your barrel.
Yeah. Here, have it for free.
Like, that was what caused that. That wasn't related to anything else. They were planning on doing that before all of this shit popped off.
Yeah.
That was when we saw. anybody who keeps track of how oil money runs, and I am definitely a person who does keep track of oil money.
Yeah.
But that we knew that was coming almost for like 6 months. We were trying to convince them not to do that. And they were like, you know what? Fuck you. And when they hit that first $20 barrel, everybody was like, whoa, what, what, what are you doing? That fucks a lot of shit up because it turned around and it started this weird backwards bidding war that, what was it we ended up at? -1, -01 or -1?
Negative, now I think it was down to like a -11 or some shit like that.
So that's what put us in a really, really bad spot when it come down to the oil. But it was something we knew was happening.
I bought oil at $2 a barrel. $2 a barrel and promptly sold it at 20. I'm in, I'm out. I'll take the fucking short-term capital gain.
Oh, yeah.
Have a nice day. I'll pay half of what I made back in taxes. Short-term capital gain. Have a nice day. I will take that.
You know what the greatest announcement that came out of this entire thing?
What, Ren saying buy DraftKings?
No mandatory draws.
Oh yeah, no calls either.
Yeah.
Haven't had a call yet. I'm playing in futures, haven't had a call yet.
Yeah. So that's been kind of relaxing. That stops people from jumping out windows.
Do I short pork bellies? Do I short soybeans? Soybeans. Anybody looking at soybeans? China ain't buying a fucking one soybean from this country.
No, my mom talked soybeans and what is it? What's the other one?
Pork bellies?
No, what was it? There's a certain type of a beet, like a sugar beet.
Yeah. Commodities market. Yep. Yes.
But there was that. There was like
fucking beets. Go figure that one out.
Well, it's not used for. It's a great biofuel.
Yes. So is algae, but we just haven't figured out how to do it right yet.
Well, no, we fucked up a lot of oceans getting it wrong. That's what people don't understand about those plumes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, go back and do the research on those. Every plume that you went through is all man-made coming through your fucking area. Somebody fucked up algae research.
Hey, just you want to do some algae research? Go back and find out or research when red algae became a thing. That shit's man-made.
Yeah. So I'm like, anytime you see a plume, it's always a red algae plume. They call it the Red Death now in a lot of places when it shows up. But it's usually because somebody was fucking around and fucked something up. It's kind of what Corona was.
How about shit that's not in the news? Because the news is so overdrawn with showing protests and riots and the media spin. Do any of you know that Russia just dumped 20,000 tons of diesel oil in the fucking ocean?
No, wasn't aware of that, but I did think that I was wondering kind of what the reasoning behind Putin going, America, you need to take a step back and just recognize democracy.
20,000.
Jenya hit Twitter with, it's a fucked up moment when Russia tells you need to recognize democracy.
Everything that's happening is so fucked up. The media spin on shit. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's like you got to weave in and out of what's real and what's not. And I mean, a couple of weeks ago, all we needed to worry about was, do I need to fact check the president? Now you need to fucking fact check everything.
Oh, yeah.
The media spin on, and I literally mean everything, is overboard. You don't know.
Oh, yeah, to the simplest little stories, too. It's fucking crazy.
Look, how many people have seen the video of the black guy getting arrested in New York City, and not New York City, in a city, and he's an FBI agent, The cops never ask him for his ID. He never fucking supplies his ID until it's after the fact. That video is 4 fucking years old.
Yeah, but it's still fucking hilarious.
It's still fucking wrong too, but there was wrong on both sides. I don't give a fuck how you look at that video. The cop was supposed to get your ID. If you were a fucking officer and being arrested, the first thing you're gonna say is, "Yo, I'm in law enforcement. I'm in." No, he didn't do that.
Hold on, because very early in that video, he did say, not I'm law enforcement, but he did say, I'm not the guy you're looking for. Check my ID.
Well, yeah, sure, but
He
you know
said
what?
that very early on.
Yeah, I get it. And as a cop or anything, if someone said to me, "I'm not the guy you're looking for," I'm gonna take your word over what it is.
All you had to do was check his ID, though.
Absolutely, and they did not.
Yeah, and not for nothing. Proof positive that the problem is still the problem.
Well, yeah, there's problems. I mean, you know.
Okay.
Wasn't it Obama?
It doesn't matter how old it is.
Obama came out, yeah, and well, no, but don't pass it off like it happened yesterday. Stop that shit.
Right. Give the full information of the scenario, but at the same time, it isn't any different. This is a natural occurrence in the community to be sold this shortcoming. So it's just as valid. But be honest about it. You're right.
Well, no, it is absolutely valid. It's, I mean, and it goes, I mean, even Obama coming out to this today and saying, you know, we need police reform. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. But I can't take you seriously because you failed this fucking country. Just like this stupid fuck who's our president now has made decisions that, in my opinion, have failed this country.
Well, his plan is to be supreme commander.
There's so much more that happens with it. I mean, I look at the things that take place. Look, all right, so let's talk about the church and the fucking president comes out, makes a speech at the Rose Garden, and then
walks across the street
and visits the church that was looted. Well, rioted. What? Set on fire. Thank God somebody was there smart enough to put it the fuck out. This is a church, you stupid fucks. It's not a place.
Yeah, let's call one set of stupid fucks out, but not the other.
Yeah, well, no, I'm calling all stupid fucks out. But, you know, the whole thing is, oh, the president shot tear gas at people, and it was a peaceful protest. Bitch. Watch the videos from the opposite way, first off. And you'll see people throwing rocks and bottles of water and all that shit up and over the fence. Okay. Maybe it was uncalled for to shoot a fucking a flashbang.
Or maybe it was uncalled for to slap a man holding a camera taking pictures with a fucking shield.
Yeah.
The problem is still lies in what the problem is, and the problem is egregious violence by a police department that doesn't care about the American public it's supposed to serve.
My point here is everybody was so fast to fucking point fingers. Oh, the White House did this. The president did that. The president made a parade out of it. The president shot fucking protesters, peaceful protesters with tear gas. People need to stop fucking putting blame when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I think as much as I was behind what some of the things our president stood for, I am not behind a lot of the shit he says and does at all. But to blame him personally, you're wrong.
It's a responsibility of the job.
It was Burr. It had nothing to do with the president. He wasn't even aware of the fact that that was taking place.
It was Barr, not Burr.
Barr.
You're trying to blame it on my goddamn local
Bill
fucking
Barr. Yeah,
senator.
Bill Barr.
Not Richard Burr.
No, I was thinking Bill Burr, the comedian, but
oh
Bill
God,
Barr.
he's even less responsible.
Okay, and as far as the president going there, this is a Colin Kaepernick situation. Right motive, wrong fucking time. Every president since the church has been built has visited it.
Yeah, and this was definitely not the time to do so.
Wrong time. Totally the wrong time. But I also understand why he did it. You've tried to burn the fucking place down. We took care of it. Our streets around this White House are fucking good, and I can walk from the White House to a church, even though it's only across the street. But you protesters got to move out of the way because you're not allowed to be within 20 feet of the president if you don't know that by now.
Well,
It's
except
been
for
wrong
in
since-
certain circumstances, and not for
Yeah.
anything, his moment, like he put the Secret Service in a bad position when he did that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's not act like he going over there was. He was just being big balls and had just got done conducting a militarized speech to the nation.
Yep.
And then turned around and was like, look how big my fucking dick is. And even the Secret Service is like, what the fuck do we do? And he put his police department in a very bad situation at the time he chose to do that. Because, yes, unsurveyed area that the president is going to be moving into and not being taken care of in the manner that it needs to be taken care of. Officers get a little on edge. He compounded a situation not for the better, but for the worse, because he wanted to show big balls.
Yes.
He had just got done making a dictator's speech about how he would put the military on the American public.
And I personally, I stand behind that. I totally stand behind that. We're in the middle of this fucking pandemic. People haven't worked in months. I understand that a travesty happened, but I am not going to fucking let you go and destroy every mom and pop business, which, oh, by the way, happened in Minnesota. 146 mom and pop shops will not reopen. Period. You killed them. You
Well,
destroyed the livelihood
now this is
of
just like people
146
going, "Oh, he died from a bullet wound to the forehead, but it was COVID." Part of what you just said is also you lumping. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You want to talk about that?
It's
shit?
it's a compounded issue.
No.
Yes, they didn't have the money to survive COVID, and then somebody lit their store on fire, and it guaranteed them walking out. That you're inflating numbers just because yes, that many mom and pop stores may have suffered. That many may have suffered during this time period. A lot of them were also COVID casualties prior to this coming into it. So these numbers are fucking falsely inflated.
Oh,
so don't
wait a
portray
second.
them as being actual.
Those people died of COVID, and that's why their businesses aren't going to reopen.
That's what I'm. That's the part I'm talking about. People were
ludicrous.
also.
That's ludicrous. I'm sorry. That's these people could not open their stores for months because they were non-essential. Now something horrible happens and you go and fucking burn down an entire row of stores.
Nobody's talking about the fact that it was a bad thing, but they're not responsible for the reason that these places have all died either, though.
Well, I'm not
COVID's
saying
partially responsible, and
Okay.
then the riots are partially responsible. It's not one or the other. These aren't just riot killed businesses. 70% of the mom and pop stores didn't die because of just a riot.
I don't know. These guys, most of these stores were prepared to open next week because that's what Minneapolis, Minnesota was doing, was opening up all their non-essential businesses next week. I have watched, I don't know, 30 different interviews with people saying, yeah, we just stocked the fucking shelves. I took the rest of my life savings that we had to get my store back open so I could fucking make money, and now, oh, it's burnt to the ground.
Yeah, but I think that 70% number is not an accurate number based on purely this.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
I'll
your
give you
number is trumped up because
you-
part of them are COVID.
I'll give you that. Okay. I
So
will
don't
give you
report
that.
it
No
as purely
percentage-
riot business closings when
and
some
I'm
of
not
them
even-
are definitely probably COVID attributed.
I mean, I'm not even talking about big box stores because I could give a shit
No, we
less.
were just talking mom and pops.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I could give a shit less about big box stores. Fuck your Targets, burn
Yeah,
down.
we
shit.
weren't even remotely talking
Yeah.
about them. We were talking
But
mom and pops. We were
you know,
purely
I mean,
talking mom and pops. And on
the
a
numbers
pure mom and
out,
pop basis, there were some
140
that had already decided to close their doors in this 70% that are being attributed to having to close because of the riot. It's another media
right.
play, so don't
Well, it's not
don't
media.
back
Doing
them
my
up
own
on their
research.
part of this and then call them shitheads for the other part of manipulation they do.
I am trying not to follow the media in any of all this because I think it's so fucking tainted, left or right. Doesn't matter what you watch, you're never going to get the truth. Like Ren, I'm doing my own research, and Twitter has been a whirlwind of information. And again, there you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Does anybody remember the guy in Salt Lake City who came out with the bow and arrow and then got arrested for cocking it at protesters?
Nope.
Okay, I think he actually shot 2 people or some shit, allegedly. Anyway, they
What
they
kind
did
of
arrest.
bizarre, ballsy motherfucker are you to pull a bow and arrow back at some motherfuckers outside and just be like, "I'll shoot you." Thump.
Here's the funny part of this entire story. Okay, the guy spent nearly 2 decades of his life behind bars in California. He's a 57-year-old man.
Okay.
Spent 20 years behind bars in California for convictions of battery against public safety officers.
Oh, well, this was prime targeting for him to come out.
Oh, no. He came out. This was his statement. I came out armed with my bow and arrow to protect the police from unruly demonstrators.
Oh, you mean he had Stockholm syndrome because he had been captivated by the fucking police for so long that he just fell in love with them.
3 counts of low-grade felonies, each punishable by up to 5 years in prison, charged with a misdemeanor count of threatening or using a weapon in a fight.
I love some of the absolutely absurd shit that you bring because it is absolutely absurd.
Right? I mean, all right, look, if you're going to protest, don't go out with a bow and arrow. I mean,
he wasn't protesting. He was protecting the police officers.
He was protecting the police from rioting protesters. Yeah, unruly demonstrators. Excuse me. Let me get that. Unruly demonstrators.
Yeah, he felt a call for action. He was like, shit, this is why they released me. I had to help them out.
The fucker was booked on $100,000 bail. $100,000 bail. I mean, I guess
what, for shooting 2 people with a bow and arrow?
2 people allegedly were shot with bow and arrow, but they never charged him with that. So, I mean, maybe that was media bullshit. Maybe
it sounds absurd enough that it could just be some kind of like whacked out weird story that was just said.
I mean,
but it could also very much be a true story, and maybe leniency was being paid by the courts. It's part of the problem, folks. It's part of the problem.
I originally heard the story on the news. I don't know if it was, MSNBC, MSN.
Paid informants. Don't trust that motherfucker.
Fucking clue. But anyway, this comes across my news wires right out of the, and it literally in my news wire. Coming out of the Salt Lake City Tribune. So, I mean, that's the local paper. That's reputable. That's, like reading the Daily News Blotter. It's reputable. Again, I don't know if the guy actually shot people, but he did have a nice Bowie knife with him, too. Knife and archery set. He was ready to roll.
I mean, yeah,
Fucked up. I love some of these stories. I really do. I mean, you're going to go out of your house with a bow and arrow. Why don't you? What? I don't know. What's next? I'm going to go out there with fucking 2 sticks and rub them together and try and set people on fire? Bow and arrow? Take that shit to the woods and go shoot a deer. Or a moose. You're in Salt Lake City, Utah. There's got to be plenty of fucking moose or bison running around somewhere. No? It's Utah. It's got to be. I don't know. It's fucked up shit. The The Arbery trial was today. So was Hillary Clinton. We don't hear about that though.
Nah.
No, we don't hear about that. What are you watching?
Me?
Yeah, you. You're staring up at the big screen. I know that.
Yeah, I'm flipping through Discord.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were tuned into something.
Yeah, I was actually about to start maybe looking at Sohn running whatever he's running right now. We're waiting on our A-class license approval.
Ah, okay.
Like week 13, everything hit the pause button, so we're just kind of waiting. So if he posts something that says, boom, I got this, I'm like, oh, I need to log in so I can make sure that I got that.
This Arbery thing, I kind of followed that a bit today because I think it's quite interesting how.
I'm sorry, that was a Klan lynching.
Well, the cop shot him, 3 times? But I think
He didn't get shot by no cop.
Cop shot him 3 times.
He didn't get shot by no cop. He got shot by a guy's son with a shotgun in the chest.
Right. 3 times. Chest, hand, chest. Shot him 3 times. All the while calling him a motherfucking...
Word.
N-word. I hate fucking using that term. It's so goddamn stupid. But it's okay because I think the cops, the guy might get off because Arbery was hit by a truck before he died. So that's
the other guy, the guy who was filming it.
Yeah, vehicular manslaughter. So the other guy shot him. Probably, maybe he gets an accessory, but this is fucked up. Both of these guys should be, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them are probably going to end up in fucking prison because their trial's not happening at the best of moments.
No, not at all. And you couldn't move this to a place that it wouldn't be the fucking best of moment.
Dude.
Yeah.
I just found out. Now, I'm very disappointed in my state law enforcement. Well, in some of the local law enforcement within my state. There were protests that have been going on for 3 days up in Asheville, North Carolina. Not for anything. The whole reason I wore the black face mask tonight was in solidarity.
Fuck yeah. Stand for what you believe in. Absolutely.
My local state up in Asheville, North Carolina, there have been protests going on for several days, and a medical facility decided that they would put a medical tent up and that they stood with the protests that have been going on, and the law enforcement in that area went and destroyed medical equipment, medical gear, and the entire area that it was in, and it even has spawned outcries by the mayor on what the fuck were you trying to do and what the hell was your point? Because this is the problem that we have right now. Systemic, not even to just a level of racism, but the people have been put so far below the system.
It was your fucking state that destroyed a medical supply stand.
That was that was a police
force
in Asheville.
Yeah, it was Asheville.
Yeah, it was a police force in Asheville. That is what moved me a little bit further into the fuck you motherfuckers. Anything goes. If you're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this.
I see that's another one of those tough situations. I mean, the bullshit that came out of, well, we didn't destroy it, we confiscated it. Well, that's kind of bullshit because it's right there on Twitter.
Well, the video, completely shows that no, you didn't. You didn't confiscate anything. You destroyed it all. You literally came in and looted and rioted a fucking medical tent.
Yeah, knifed every fucking bottle of water. Now, on the other side of it, okay, I get it. It could be used as weapons to be thrown at the... Okay, I get it. I don't want to say I don't. I know for a fact that doesn't justify the means.
Nope.
Not at all. Not in my book. This is just as bad as...
I told you.
press people being harassed.
I don't think my point of view was changed at all. I just think the targeting is wrong. I
Yeah.
think people, if you're going to stand against your government, you need to stand against your government. If you believe that they're the ones making the mistakes, fucking fix them. The
Yeah.
corporations, the big ones, the ones you're going after, fine. Take down your Best Buys, take down your Targets, take down your fucking whatevers. Don't continue this mom and pop destruction. Don't you talk to these people on a daily basis. Remember those people. You know these people. Some of you are related to them in these offshoots that you don't even know. Fight for what you believe in. Fight against the establishment as it's currently, because apparently it actually is horribly fucked up. Because, like me and Webb said before, we might have been misusing the word woke for a long time.
Yeah.
Because when we saw the video and we saw that man do what he did to George Floyd, there was no misunderstanding what that action was in any human being's eye. Period. Everybody watched it and saw the same thing happen. It was murder.
Big time.
Nobody can look at that and say anything any different.
You can try and spin it all you want. You can. Great. He had COVID. You really think I give a fuck that he had COVID? Do you really think I give a fuck? Do you really think the world, and I mean the world gives a fuck that he had congenitive heart failure? So, yeah, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means in 30 years, he might have died?
I like the fact that the truth has come out about the autopsy reports. I like the fact that they've settled that already, and they're like, yes, he had COVID, but he was asymptomatic, is what it looks to be.
That's right.
He had a little bit of narrowing of the arteries in his heart, but he had no problems with his lungs. He had a very relatively healthy set of lungs for a man of his age. So
Congenitive heart failure, which means what? He would have died in 20 years from now, so today is okay? Go fuck yourself if you're thinking that.
Yeah.
Go
so, I mean,
yourself.
we understand what the situation was. It was murder, and, you know, I said it right off the bat. I was like, I've never had something affect me so deeply to where I felt an urge to react to it as much as watching that footage. You had brought it up on a Tuesday. I kind of blew off your statement when you were talking about what those cops did to that guy in Minnesota. Wednesday, I got to see a lot more of the footage, and I was moved.
Yeah, but I mean, you weren't there in the middle of it. I don't want. You weren't paying attention when it happened, and then when you did, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is wrong, and under every circumstance, it's wrong. There is no remote chance of justifying anything that transpired there.
Would you like another what the fuck moment of the week before we wrap up and get off?
I mean, I've had a lot of those. What you got for me?
I'll give you right here. Anybody hear about the radio hosts in Rochester, New York? Kimberly Ray and Barry Beck. I believe it's the Kimberly and Barry show. No, you didn't hear this one, okay? They used two words I've never heard before in my entire life, and I've never heard a group of people even fucking being expressed this way, okay? They were having a discussion on air about the video of the group of men beating up the couple with 2x4. Okay, I don't know the premise behind the video. I have seen the video. I don't know the premise behind it. I know it has to do with the protests. Don't know the premise behind the video. But she turns to him and, God, I'm just going to say, because I've never heard it before. She says, okay, let me ask you a question. Were they acting N-word-ish? Now, you put that together in your own head. I have never in my life heard that word with ISH at the end of it.
Well,
And then later on, the other radio host goes, well, I think they're thugs, so they were acting niggerly.
I don't like the fact that you decided to jump into it, but
what?
Hold on, no, because there you can just avoid it. There was an episode of the Boondock Saints that said that you could have an in moment.
Okay. Yes,
and they justified a certain characteristic of behavior as
and wordly. Is that what you said? Wordly.
An in moment.
I mean,
all right.
But I think the emphasis here is how they use the word by making it an adjective and a fucking pronoun.
Well, no, what they did, and I hope that they're being
they're fucking fired,
penalized to the ultimate extent of what they can be, because not for anything.
iHeartMedia has blackballed them from the industry.
How about, and I understand this is maybe a weird time to make this request, but how about we just get rid of the word? Like, how about we honestly, across the board, like, just let's get rid of it. Like, let's not have the symbolic gesture that we had before from Beyonce and everybody else that decided to stand up in New York and say, oh, let's kill the word in hip-hop. How about let's get rid of it? Let's just get rid of it. It doesn't serve a purpose in our society in any way, shape, or form. And if anybody uses it, all you're doing is promoting the continued use of it.
If that's part of your vocabulary, it is fucking A, deplorable, B, insensitive.
Well, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just putting a request out there. No. See, that's just it. I don't want this to be a negative moment. I am literally asking across the board. Can we just get rid of it? If the word is such an asset to contentment, can we just get rid of it? Like, across the board. Let's just nobody use it. Let's really kill it, and let's try and move forward without it. Like, can we have that?
To the communities. People need to understand what the fuck they're doing to other people. Period. End of story. And I'm not the most politically correct person in the world, but, and I've said it before. Well, hey, if you're going to fucking sing about it in a song, then I can run around and say it. Well, you know what? My view has changed on that drastically in the last fucking 2 weeks. In the last 8 days. Drastically changed. And I agree with Thump.
Just get rid of it.
I don't even want to hear it in a fucking future song. I'll give you all the shit you've done in the past.
Dude, I cringe hearing it out of, like, modern hip-hop artists.
Yeah, there's no point anymore. It's over.
It's like, it's like, man, you could. I am proponent for the new word to be used, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker. I really hope that these two radio hosts don't get picked up by some fucking internet company and they get stuck in the world of some shitty fucking podcast somewhere. Okay, that's what you deserve. And if that's not good enough, McDonald's is where you should work. If they'll fucking hire you after this on your record. I mean, and they went on and on. Even the producer turned around and said, whoa, you can't say that. And then the Beck turned around, well, that's a double standard. I get it. I was behind the double standard too. I understand that. But not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I'm just a proponent to get rid of it.
Yep.
Like, I am at the point that, like, all right, I understand. I can't say it. I don't say it. It's not a word that I use, but I will say it's a word that I hear a lot, and it's not out of people that look like me's mouth. Like, I hear it more from the other community, and it still feels just as bad. When you talk about it in a hip-hop song, and you're talking about this guy doing dirty, gutter, like, you talk about this treacherous lifestyle and you tag that guy as an N-word, all you're doing is perpetuating the same meaning.
I have never heard that word turned into an adjective in the
Well, Boondock Saints did it.
42 years that I can comprehend the English language.
Well, you need to go back and watch some Boondock Saints because Boondock Saints used it. It was just as common as the word fuck.
Yeah, but as an adjective?
Yeah, you
Eddie,
could use it, and it has every form that
I-
you can use it.
and I've seen that movie quite a few times.
No,
and
no, no,
don't-
no, 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 no. The Boondock Saints, man. Not the movie, the Boondocks. Excuse me, the Boondocks.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. Okay. Dude, I got like sun fucking poisoning on my shoulders. Jesus Christ.
That's all right. I got a motorcycle burn on my left fucking thigh for not
Oh,
realizing that the Harley fucking 100th anniversary edition pipe doesn't go down below the tire when it crosses. It goes just down below the seat when it crosses. And I stepped on the fucking bike that had just been parked for about a half hour. And when I stepped over it, I touched in a pair of basketball shorts. My shorts went up and my skin touched
Oh,
the
yeah,
pipe, and I was like, okay.
I did that the other day on the grill. I had to rebuild the grill and put all new shit in it, and then I fired it up to make sure everything worked. And I only left the grill on for like 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds.
And then you went to grab something.
But I guess everything is so new that now it heats up instantly.
Well, it heats up
And
like it should.
I literally tapped my thumb, literally just tapped. And the next day, I had a blister. I still have it, but it was the size of a gumball out of a gumball machine. Not the big ass gumballs, but you know when you get that little egg that's got like 3 gumballs in it, the little gumballs, like the gumball machine your parents had in the house if they had one of those. People out there, you know what I'm talking about. That fucking big on my thumb. I had no choice but to stick a pin in it. Which, if you have a blister and you do that shit too early, you know damn well that hurts like hell.
Yeah. And are you of the same mindset that you're only supposed to do those at night?
Oh, yes.
Like that's a weird statement, right? And for it to be accurate is the crazier part.
You're only supposed to cause self-inflicted pain at night so you can then fall asleep.
No, the blister, popping a blister at night actually hurts less.
Yeah, go figure. Because there's no sun on it. There's no heat. There's no sun. There's no heat.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you get a blister in the middle of winter from shoveling fucking snow.
That's true.
You pop that bitch at night. Period. And it doesn't hurt near as bad as if it pops during the day. Me and my my burn had a moment last night where us and a paper towel got together because I caught it on the clothes I was wearing.
Yeah.
And it was not happy. I had like just liquid running down my leg, and I'm like, oh shit, gotta mop that shit up. Need paper towel.
What is going on out there?
But yeah, that was as a result of the new motorcycle across the street, man. It was great. They all got patched in for their motorcycle club over the weekend, and I went to check out the new motorcycle that was given to the president.
I'm grabbing another beer.
He was like, take it. And I was like, all right, I might do that. And I was like,
I'm
but
out
it's
of
not
here
going to
in
be
10,
today
just
because
so
I
you
just
know.
burned my fucking leg.
And that shit's painful. I'm grabbing a beer.
Oh, it did. It sucked. What'd you say there, Ren?
Said I'm out of here in 10.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. J7, if you do end up watching this, I'm disappointed that you did not show up after hitting us up prior to the show about joining us. I understand
right.
you were going to be late, but you didn't show. Besides that, Hope you're having fun. Maybe you and your guy got to get together at least and play a little bit more Destiny, but
Hopefully they get to see each other soon.
I'm hoping that one or the two of them will just fucking chalk it up and just be like, I'm coming to fucking see you.
I'm surprised that it hasn't happened now, just by human nature alone.
I know, but we're not that age. Like, that age is right now something that I'm sure neither of us really could even try to understand.
Exactly.
You know, what is that, 20 years younger than us?
Yeah, 20
Ish.
years younger than me, probably.
Well, but I'm saying it's still 20-ish years younger. We're like, okay. It's definitely not a mindset that I understand currently. I know what it was when I was that, but I also understand that's not what it is now. Welcome back, Webby.
Yeah, I needed to get a beer. I just needed to. Couldn't take the high octane. Needed something light.
Oh yeah. So what are you drinking?
Carrot juice. Schonenhofer.
Oh.
Friend calls it carrot juice. Schonenhofer's.
Boy. Grapefruit
Hefeweizen. Actually, it's half a beer and half grapefruit. I like them. Breakfast beer. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Is that where you're at in the evening?
Yeah,
You've been drinking too much high gravity shit, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, all day. Locked in. It starts at 11 a.m. every fucking day. Bloody Mary.
Really? I'll wait
Starts
till
there.
11 to have the Bloody Marys?
11 o'clock, yes.
I really like 9 o'clock Bloody Marys, though.
Yeah, we did that, yes. But we were also up at like 7 and already had 2 cups of coffee. I'm trying to pace myself through these days because I was
just talking about like when I was up there.
We would do it early.
We would
sure.
get up, we'd have a couple cups of coffee,
We'd
and
be up
then
at
we
7.
would transition to the Bloody Mary.
Right, we got up at 7.
Because not for anything, you might as well call that motherfucker breakfast. We could have served a fried egg on our fucking Bloody Marys.
Then we do the Bloody Marys and breakfast, depending on what the fuck we were doing. We actually did some decent breakfasts, that's for sure. Didn't I do the French toast that one day? Did I do French toast? No, I did the waffles. No, I did the French toast.
You did the French toast.
I don't think I did the waffles. But next time, I'll bring my waffle maker down in my own personal mix and make the fucking waffles. But yeah, no, it's and no disrespect to the beers I'm drinking because
I got Taylor ham.
Oh, drink local. You got more ham?
No, I got Taylor ham. That was my introduction to Taylor ham.
That's right. And then what? You bought fucking one of them 5-pound rolls of that shit, didn't you?
No, I got sliced. I got thin slice and thick slice because I didn't know which one I would actually prefer.
Thick.
And I still got some out in the fridge. I like both of them.
Yeah, it depends on the usage.
It depends on what you're doing with them.
Yeah.
So it was good to know that I could still get Taylor ham. When I came back home, I was like, I got to make sure I can get more of this shit. And yeah, I can get it by the 5-pound log, but I like it pre-sliced. Now, I would say that their thin maybe needs to be a little thicker, and their thick needs to be a little thicker. Because I treat it with that same saltiness spam treat degree, where a real thick slice of that, where you get a good bark on it that is a charred bark and have that good meaty center of it, it's amazing. And I feel the same way about Taylor ham too. It's like, oh, it's great. If you like, it's just salty enough. It's just, if you put a little fucking burn on it, it's fucking great.
Yeah, I why can't I find what the fuck I'm looking for? This is annoying as shit now. I need a carrying case for my cornhole boards.
How about I send you
I
send you a link to a Facebook guy that I met in Sturgis that now owns a cornhole business. Like, he makes the boards, custom graphics, bags, the whole shebang. I'll introduce you to that guy.
I just need the carrying case. I have
Yeah,
new
I
back.
know.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean, right now you just need the carrying case. Maybe the next time you decide to buy championship bags, you have a new one. Maybe the next new boards that you decide to buy, you got a guy that you can fucking be like, hey, man, I'd like them like this.
I just did that. I bought them blank so I can do them myself. I just haven't decided what I'm doing on it, and I have 0 8-bit bro stickers. 4x2, that's not even fucking regulation size. What size of boards? They're not 4x2, are they?
Yeah,
Right?
regulation boards are 4x2.
Okay, so I finally found it after 2 days. 4x2 regulation size. I've been searching for these for like 3 days, 2 days.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I just bought the new boards, which I got a good deal on. Bought them blank, $79. Not bad. I could have made them myself, but it's just easier to buy them. But I just found the fucking case finally. It's driving me crazy because they're decent boards, and I don't want them to get destroyed. Plus, now that I know I can bring them to the bar, or at least the owner of the bar had said, absolutely bring them.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I know that we have a certain affinity for D&D amongst this group.
Yes.
I've got one for you that I just popped up Facebook in a separate page to be able to try and find what I was looking for.
Right.
And then I found this.
Are you screen sharing that?
No, I just posted it in Slack.
Okay. Gotta have that open somewhere here. Laptop? Yes, it is a laptop. There we go. Oh, yeah, right?
just a little bit. You need to step your shit up just a little bit.
I will tell you flat out.
Dry ice and fog machine.
Oh, if I was still playing like I was playing when I was a kid.
Yeah, but I like it in the recess board with everything being done. It's like if you're going to run that scenario, you're in it.
Yep, I would have a ship and all sorts of shit going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was so into that game as a kid, man. And I'm not a kid, all through high school, too. So, what are you talking? 18? But, yeah.
Here you go. Until I find this fucking... I'm scrolling through my list in order to find my guy so I can send you my guy, but there is all this other shit going on, so I am occasionally, just as I roll along, gonna post something. Well, here you go. Today, enjoy this. That come from a Redskins group.
Yeah, I saw that in one of the meme groups today, too. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Ben Roethlisberger cop. Very funny. Without a doubt. Very funny. All right, so why don't we wrap up? And, I don't know, pray for a fucking weekend that isn't full of more bullshit.
Good luck with that.
Well, look, people out there who are rioting, if you're rioting for the right reasons, I can possibly stand behind it. If you're out there just to sell shit on eBay, then you're a fucking idiot. People relax. All 4 cops have been arrested. Formal charges. The leaders of the black community, whatever fucking voice you think you have in the black community, have come out and already said ACLU, NCAA, NC Amico, beep beep, whatever the fuck, came out and said, chill the fuck out. The judicial process takes time. I know nobody wants to hear that. Fuck. I don't even want to hear that. I think these fucks should be burned at the stake now. But that is not the way things work.
Yeah, that was an interesting explanation to a Yemenis fellow that I had to have the other day.
Oh, they would already fucking stoned him to death.
Well, no, he asked. He said, so this man killed a guy. And it's like, yeah, he killed a guy. He was like, so you kill him. And I was like, well, unfortunately, in this state, in the United States, that's not the way it works. In the state that he's from, it's whether or not they have the death penalty on whether that they would even pursue the idea. I was like, but Minnesota's not a death state. I was like, he'd have to be in a state that was like Texas, because Texas still has the death penalty. North Carolina also still has the death penalty. Lethal injection here. Don't go fucking around in this motherfucker. But so I was like, this is the way things work. I was like, each state has their own rules, and some states have said that death wasn't an acceptable form of punishment.
Minnesota abandoned the death penalty in 1911 after a botched execution of one Sir William Williams.
Yeah. So
That-
and I had to explain to a guy from another country, Yemen to be exact, and he was like, oh no, in my country that would not, he murdered a man. It was like you take a life for a life. And he's also Muslim, and I'm like, no, I completely fucking agree with you. Yeah, and this guy's very devout. It's the brother of the guy that I work for, and he's a very devout Muslim. Like he prays when he's supposed to pray, like facing proper, like he is straight up very devout. I even told him one day, I was like, look, I don't know how your prayer works, but ask for motherfuckers to figure some shit out. Just, 'cause you're here, maybe we'll get a little bit of that. Like, just ask for motherfuckers to figure some shit out. 'Cause
how do you botch a death by hanging?
your rope's too short, and a guy doesn't actually snap the way he's supposed to in a hanging. There are several ways. Hanging executions were very not.
It was too long. Okay. Yeah, the rope being used to hang him was too long. See, I knew Minnesota's death laws. I'm always full of fucking useless information. I know so much stupid shit that never applies to anything, and I was so happy to be able to know that off the top of my head.
Well,
but
that's what I told him, and I had told him already. I was like,
why Williams or how he fucking died. None of that, but I just knew Minnesota in 1911.
Yeah, see, I didn't know the Williams in 1911 thing, but I told him, I was like, I am absolutely sure Minnesota's not a death state, so I was like, this officer, not only, and then they charged him originally with murder 3, so that was already going to carry lesser of a sentence.
Yeah, it's 25 to life. Now they got him on 2, which
is still only 25 to life. And even if they had him on murder, it's still only 25 to life.
Yeah, but
actually, they could have with murder 3. With murder 3, they could have literally gave him 10 years.
Yeah,
and he could have literally only served 2 of those 10 years with a rescinded sentence.
Yeah, murder 2 gets you life, but he'll probably be out in 20 years anyway.
Well, we were telling.
Either way, the outcome of this is bad. Period.
We were telling our guy, because this guy was a cop, he's going to get this kind of leniency, and he goes, "Yeah, but they fired him," and it's like, nah, he's still an ex-cop. He didn't fuck them over. So the justice system are not going to treat him. He's a cop.
You do know he has the right to sue and will win, right?
I'm not even willing to argue the semantics of how that situation even plays out. I was trying to explain to a person from another country how the justice system worked, and because this guy was affiliated with the judicial system in one of its stages, that this guy would be given leniency, and this was the reason why people are on the street protesting. That this is the understanding that many Americans have finally got their head wrapped around, is that the problem lies within, and we're the only ones that are paying the price.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody know what states still have the death penalty besides Texas?
My state just pulled lethal injection last year, so North Carolina, I'm pretty sure is still one.
What is this? This is the Death Penalty Information Center. No date. 2020.
No date. 2020.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I was just looking at this. States with and without death penalty. 2020. 28 states currently death penalty.
That's good.
Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, obviously, Utah, Virginia, and Wyoming. No, you had just said... So if you guys abolished the fucking lethal injection, but you're still listed...
No, we didn't abolish nothing. We are still a death state. We just had a lethal injection issue.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you did away
a year
with...
ago.
Yeah, so you're on that state. 22, the rest of them. There are 3 states, and I don't understand what this means. I'm going to have to look this up. I'm not even sure if I can pronounce this. California, Oregon, Pennsylvania, death penalty states with gubernatorial moratoria. I mean, I know what a moratoria is. It's a moratorium. That's when you take something and you put it on the side for a while. Governor's office suspended the decision made by a higher court. So the governors have overruled the high courts in those 3 states. So it's
have the ability to.
Right, have the ability. It means they have had in the past. So yeah, so they can override.
Tell me if you can get to that.
I got to see what fucking public group. Yes. Yes, I can get there. I can see everything in there. It's public. I just have to join it. Make just the tops on it, huh? Are they tops? Oh, they are the tops. See, I think I'm just going to have the graphics printed and laid on there because I already have my tops in nice, clean, slated, perfect.
He's not a tops only guy, but
all right. I just need the graphics, and I mean I could print that right here on a vinyl printer if I wanted to.
Like the guy, the head of Cornhole Tops there.
Yeah.
Steve Miles.
Hmm.
The woman that he is in the picture with, if you go and check his personal profile.
Yeah.
I was there the day he met what became his wife.
Oh, okay.
Like, so that lady he met in Sturgis, South Dakota, he was from where he's from, and she was from a completely different state.
Yeah.
And they met there. We went. That was the night that Rob Zombie played, and we shut down Rob Zombie and went to the fucking hole and shut down that place too. That was the night he met his wife. I was there for that. This is my motherfucking man, as far as that's concerned.
Let's see, these are all laser printed. That's quite nice, actually.
Yeah, he does some really good work too, man. And his boards are really good. Like if you go and you look at like his pre-construction on his boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is done really fucking well.
That's what I liked about these boards. They're decent. They're a lot better than any of the cheap shit boards I've bought before, without a doubt. And even though some of those cheap shit boards I paid good money for.
Right.
You know, these.
This is Cornhole Solutions. For anybody out there who's looking, that's the original company that was founded. He is the owner, operator, founder of Cornhole Solutions. bags according to where you come from. But
See, this is a great idea because then you can just build your frames and then order a top and just fucking glue and screw that shit in place. Well, glue, not screw, but yeah, there's actually some nice work here. I can get behind this. Cornhole Tops is the group on Facebook. Cornhole Tops. Might be smart to look at if you're looking to build boards. You can just
hey, Webb,
pre-order
this
the top.
one's solely coming to you because I know everybody's not going to accept it.
Oh, shit. Quick, grab your shit. All right, man. I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's wrap this up. This is funny. That you should post that shit over on 8-Bit Bros. What did I post? I posted a few things out today. I thought were kind of funny. Kind of funny. One of them was real fucking funny, but I'm sure it's only my humor that found it funny. But where'd you go, Ren? I want to say goodnight. Let's go. Put your face back in the cam. Prick. I'm going to do without him. How about that? All right. Hopefully, we can have a good weekend. The weather's supposed to be nice around the country, except for a few states. I don't know. Restrictions are getting laxed. It's time to get out there and breathe and stretch. Be peaceful. Do the right thing. Like I said earlier, they've been arrested. Formal charges. Bond has been set at a fucking hellacious escalated amount that these guys aren't getting out. It's $1 million ahead. Never mind the guy who they originally got, and I think they want to fucking keep him in there at like $5 million on bail or some shit like that. Let the justice system do what needs to be done, and hopefully justice will be served.
Yeah.
If not,
I stand in the corner of no justice, no peace.
Yeah, no justice, right? And if there's no justice, well, then we have a whole new thing to talk about in a few months. We've seen that before, so I don't even want to go down that road. I don't even want to think about it. Have a great fucking weekend. Be smart. Be safe. Protest wisely. Don't fucking throw bricks at people. Seen too much of that.
Well, the bricks are just bait. Don't be baited. Don't let them succumb to the weaker side of humanity and install chaos. Just don't do it. You're above that.
If you see a pile of bricks out there, do the right thing. Call your fucking local municipality, your sanitation department. They will come and
those
pick them
seem to be the people who are having the biggest questions right now. Mayoral people are like, what is going on? We had no idea this was happening. Nobody's reporting anything to us, and they're reporting like the reports are going to police stations that aren't doing anything about it, and the reports are going to activist groups that also aren't doing anything about it. But you need to, if you feel that this is going to cause a problem, and you don't know who put the problem in place, go reach out. There are people listening.
Yeah.
Don't think you're not being heard. Even though for a long time it's very easy to understand why you would feel that way. Reach out, make sure, double check.
Yep. I mean, I know in New York there were a lot of people reporting mysterious fucking cages of bricks and shit. Department of Sanitation. Department's DSNY in New York was out there filling up fucking garbage trucks with bricks. Report that shit. Don't let it happen in your community because of some fucking left wing, right wing, anti-fascist, anti-fucking whatever, whatever the case may be.
Agent of chaos.
That's right.
If you don't want chaos and you want things to just be fair, stop the agents of chaos.
All right. Don't try that shit in my town. I've got enough to deal with over here. We had a murder. We had all sorts of shit happen in this town. Don't try your shit here. Keep it somewhere else. Don't come here. Ain't nobody gonna stand for it. We're not tolerating this shit. Everybody's got enough going on, and you shouldn't tolerate it in your fucking town, neighborhood, or anything. 8-Bit Bros, Thursday night. Peace. We will see you next Tuesday.
Later.
Yeah, late.